Hello, hello. What is up with my sound? What's going on, chat? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach, the coach of porn. Here to ask and hopefully get answered the question, is porn cheating? Is it cheating to masturbate while watching strangers have sex on the internet? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I want to know what you think. I'll tell you what I think, but what do you think? So, what's up, Nicole? Justin, how's it going? All is well. Appreciate that. Guest request sent. Let's go. Thought Goat. I'll bring you up here. Chocolate Wonder. Stay away.
Hey, how's it going? I'm 42.
Hey, man. Go. Cool.
Hey.
Thanks for sharing.
It's not cool, actually. It's really sucky, actually.
It's well, yeah, pretty old.
So here, I'm gonna. Yeah. If I ask, I agree with you, but I wanna kind of devil's advocate this a little bit, or maybe stuff that maybe I don't agree with that you agree with, or vice versa.
Well, how do you know what I agree with or not?
Well, I'm making assumptions based on the premise-y.
Oh, making assumptions. Okay.
Yes. I could be off on my assumptions.
You could be. What assumptions are you making?
So. I'm trying to use TikTok friendly language. What the thing that people do when they watch porn, men
masturbate?
Do? Yeah, I'm allowed to say that?
You can say whatever you want, man. I don't care. TikTok will deal with you.
Okay. So what if somebody does that without porn? Is that okay?
I don't know. But let me introduce myself first. My name's Austin, also known as the Porn Coach. And my question for you is porn cheating?
I would say no.
You would say no. Okay, why is that?
Well, I think cheating would involve a physical human being.
Cheating would involve a physical human being. Okay.
Right. So I would assume porn would be the same as me conceptualizing it in my brain.
Okay. Got it. Are you in a relationship?
Barely.
Barely. What does that mean?
I've been married 20 years.
Okay. And what does the barely mean?
Just to get you to chuckle.
Okay. Okay. Well, I chuckled. So what does that mean? Are you guys like going to get divorced, or are you just?
No, I'm just saying it barely. I'm saying barely to get you to laugh. I'm married. I'm not getting divorced.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you're married. You're not getting divorced. Somewhat happily married, I would assume.
I was a virgin until I got married at 25, and I've only slept with one woman, this woman, my entire life.
Okay, got it. All right, and so you don't think that pornography is cheating because you're not physically with another person, is that right?
Well, because I guess I don't see, I guess there has to be a line or a symmetry breaker between conceptualizing something and the physicalness of doing it with somebody in real life. Okay. I think there's a delineation somewhere that has to happen. So that's why when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, well, would thinking about it count as cheating? Then if not, so then would looking at it count as cheating?
Yeah, great questions. So for you, where does cheating become cheating? When precisely does cheating become cheating?
When it's with a real person in real life.
Got it. And at what point? Like what would have to happen in order to constitute cheating?
I would say kissing somebody passionately would be cheating.
All right. Kissing somebody passionately would be cheating.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So let's say most affairs happen in the workplace. Let's say you start developing an emotional affair with another person. You may be
What would that mean?
You're sharing personal details that otherwise would probably be reserved for your romantic relationship. Your
Could you give me an example so I can help understand it better?
Sure. And let's just say you're flirting with the office secretary and you're getting frisky in the break room, but you have not yet kissed. Would you consider that cheating?
No.
No. Okay. Got it. So sneaking away to the break room, maybe passionate hugs, but no kissing. You wouldn't consider that cheating.
Passionate hug. I'm trying to visualize a passionate hug. What would that be?
Two people hugging passionately, really getting into it. I don't know, man. Something just short of kissing.
I don't know. I've never seen a passionate hug, I guess.
Oh, you're missing out. You've never passionately hugged someone?
Well, I wouldn't know. I mean, based on the criteria, I could be passionately hugging people I shouldn't be. What would equivocate a passionate hug as opposed to a really,
non-passionate?
like me hugging my grandmother who I haven't seen in 5 years.
Let's just say that there's some sort of sexual intent behind the hug.
So sexual intent. So
okay,
I'm hugging.
Chell said it well. Hands on the waist or the lower back, maybe pulling each other's bodies into one another. There's more than just a hey, nice to see you going on here.
Pressing.
Pelvic pressing, yeah, all of it.
Yeah, pelvic pressing. Yeah, I would say that's grinding. I wouldn't call that
grinding.
Hug,
okay, let's call it grinding then for easier. Yeah. Maybe that's easier to understand. Let's say you're grinding with the secretary in the break room.
Yeah,
but you haven't kissed. Okay, so that's cheating.
Grinding pelvically is cheating.
Grinding pelvically is cheating. Okay, so it's not just kissing then.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so where precisely does cheating begin then?
Well, that's where I'm trying to equivocate. So like. To me that would involve something physical, right? I'm with an actual person in real life, and we are bumping uglies or grinding uglies in this case.
Mm-hmm. Passionately.
Yes, passionately. I'm thinking of middle school dances.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so, but yeah, I think that's the symmetry breaker. I think that would fall into my realm of cheating if you're grinding uglies.
Got it. Okay. Now, what if you are sending messages to the secretary? You haven't grinded yet with her or him. What if you're sending messages to her like, "Hey, I'm thinking about you," and you're saying sexually explicit things to her about what you may want from her, may want to do to her or with her? What would you call that?
I wouldn't call that cheating, I guess. Okay. In the same way I wouldn't call verbally screaming at someone abuse. So, like if I said, I'm going to kill you or you know, whatever, I don't consider that assault.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
right, but I'm using an equivocation of how I'm thinking of these two things.
Yeah, I got it. So you wouldn't consider that cheating. All right. So let's just say your wife found these text messages of you saying these sexually explicit things to a secretary in this example.
Yes.
How do you think she might feel?
Horrible.
Why?
Well, she would feel like our marriage is at a point of vulnerability.
And why would she feel that if it's just a text message?
Well, because there's a how do you go? A trust, a looking outward. It's like your wife made a homemade meal and you're going out to eat.
Yeah. So she may see it as though trust was broken. Something was broken between the relationship agreements that you guys have.
Maybe not trust.
Okay,
maybe
that's your word. What other word would you put?
Maybe like there's a leak in the boat. Like it's a symbol of something is going down as opposed to a trust being broken.
Okay, well, metaphorically, what does that hole in the boat mean? What does that indicate? If it's not trust being broken, what would it be?
It would be a symptom of a relationship degrading.
Okay, well, you can call it whatever you want, but to me that sounds like trust is broken, and because there's somebody else involved who you, or the hypothetical you, are turning to putting your eyes on that person, putting your heart towards that person with
Well,
text messages as
to
evidence,
me, that's
as
a
opposed.
stretch.
Okay, why is
Saying
it a
I'm putting my
stretch?
heart towards that person, because I mean, theoretically, you could do this to a person you have no feelings for. And I wouldn't call, like, for example, a woman of the night. I wouldn't say you're giving your heart to her. You're
What's a
giving your
woman of the
lust
night?
to her. You know those people with really high heels that are on sketchy street corners?
Prostitute?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
trying to help your life. I'm not trying to.
I don't need any help, man. I'm fine. I've been doing
Okay.
this a long time.
So yeah, I don't think that I would be saying, oh, I love them. I think love is a word I wouldn't
All right.
use for.
So if you're lusting after other women, would you consider that cheating?
And lusting would just be the conceptual thinking of it.
Define it how you want to, but lust.
Well, I think the
meaning
devil's in
you're-
the details.
Okay. Well, lusting meaning you are putting your eyes or thoughts towards another person and consuming them for, in most cases, your sexual pleasure, who is not your spouse.
I wouldn't consider that cheating now.
You wouldn't consider
I think,
that cheating. Got it.
I think we could do that to people who don't even exist, people that we are just even conceptualizing out of thin air, or people that we maybe see in popular culture that we really don't know at all, but we're creating a fantasy of what this would be like, even though it could be totally not real. I feel like that will be the same.
Okay. How do you think your wife would feel if you were lusting after other women?
Again, the same, the hole in the boat, like the relationship is degrading, that it's at risk of being broken.
Okay. Do you watch pornography?
Yes.
How often?
How often? I don't know, maybe once a month or so.
Once a month? Okay. Why do you do that?
Just for the thrill of it.
The thrill. Okay. For you, what is thrilling about presumably masturbating while watching strangers have sex?
I guess the same way that you would like eating candy.
I don't masturbate when I eat candy. Do you?
I'm not saying doing it while. I'm saying for the
got
same
it.
reasons for.
Okay. Explain that.
Well, do you get an enjoyment, a pleasure out of eating candy?
Let me tell you a story. Last night, we were stuffing Easter eggs, and I had
Is that a euphemism?
Nope. No, it's not. We were actually stuffing Easter eggs. I knew you were going to say that when I said the word stuff. We were preparing our Easter eggs, and I ate one. I can't remember what the candy is called, like a little taffy type candy, and it was so good. And then I had two, and then I had a third, and then I had a fourth, and then I felt like shit. It was not a good experience, which is actually similar to pornography, but we can go down that path in a moment. Why do you do it though?
I told you, for the
thrill.
enjoyment. The same
Okay, for
the same
the
reason
enjoyment.
why you eat a candy bar every now and then.
Got it. Okay. Does your wife know that you watch pornography?
Oh no.
No. Why is that?
I just think it would create an insecurity, perhaps.
Got it. Okay, so you have a secret, a pretty big secret from your wife. You are willingly engaging in a behavior that if she were to find out about, she may feel insecure. And so you're
Oh
hiding.
yeah, if she really, if I told her how I honestly think she looks, that would probably be the same thing.
Oh, if you told her, okay.
So I think by loving someone, same thing you do with your children. I don't tell my children the exact reality of a thing because I'm preserving a feeling. I'm preserving their safety from that. I think that if I could be honest, but I think with them, but I think abstaining from certain painful realities, we're actually procuring a healthy relationship.
Well, let's keep children out of this. So you're thinking that you're hiding from your wife the fact that you're lusting after women in pornography, and you're hiding from her certain beliefs you have about how you view her.
As I would say that you do as well.
No, I don't. do
Really?
that. Yeah.
So if your wife, you've told your wife you're fat.
No, I haven't.
Has your wife ever been fat?
Define fat. I'm pretty fat.
Sometimes
my wife tells me I'm
sensing
fat,
a dishonesty,
and I'm like, yes.
Because now a dishonesty happened because I said, have you ever told your wife that she's fat? And you said no. Then when I ask, has your wife ever been fat? Then obfuscation comes in to say, well, I don't know now.
No, let me tell you what I actually say is if my wife ever asks me a question about her looks, I say, hey, I think you're beautiful all the time, no matter what. And that may sound like utopian, but that's the truth. That's how I respond to that. And that's what I believe.
Let's say that she didn't look her best. Would you say, you don't look as good as you have?
I think however she looks is fine.
That's not my question.
Well, that's my answer.
Well, so can we be genuine though? Because I'm being genuine towards my answers to you.
Genuine.
I would respect a retort in genuineness as well.
You're actually not being genuine because when I ask you a question,
this is devolving.
This is devolving. Nope. You're flipping it to talk about your kids.
I'm being genuine and open to my answers.
Hold on. Stop. I'm happy to answer your questions, okay? But what you're not doing is answering my question and then asking me a question, okay?
So I'm not allowed to answer the question and then answer?
You're allowed to do it whatever you want to, okay?
So if I answer your question, I can't retort in a question.
You can do whatever you want to, okay? But I may push back on your retort, okay?
As long as we can,
I am genuine in what I say.
In our answers and not avoid answering, because I'm trying to equivocate something to you to show you my point of view, and if you obfuscate from it, it's devolving the conversation. So,
sure, which is exactly what you're doing. But go ahead.
Well, so you have said you have never told your wife, you have held from your wife the honesty of saying, if when she asks you or were to ask you, how do I look? And she doesn't look as good as she has previously, would you be honest to her and say, you don't look as good as you always have?
I don't frame it that way.
I know.
I don't.
But why not?
Because my viewpoint, at least for my marriage and how I look at my wife, is however she's presenting right now is the beautiful person who I married.
You're obscuring a reality to preserve feelings?
No, because you're trying to impute your reality of how you view your wife of how I view my wife.
So I'm being honest. So when you're saying you're saying that I don't say certain things because I know that would hurt my relationship with my wife. Even though it would be true.
Hold on. You actually said that. You said you don't say certain things.
But you're demonstrating it. You're demonstrating it in this example of your wife not looking as good as she could, but you abstaining from saying that to preserve a feeling between yourselves and her.
No, because you're trying to impute that I may view my wife as not looking as good as she did. That's your assertion. That's not mine, nor is it my belief.
But that's the scenario I'm creating. I'm saying...
And you're trying to create a scenario that doesn't exist in this conversation.
Oh, so your wife has always been as beautiful from the day you met her to now. She has never... Her beauty, her physical attractiveness has never changed.
In my eyes, that is correct.
That's a lie.
That is correct. You can call me a liar.
That's a lie.
But that's how
I'm looking for
view
genuineness. I can honestly and securely say that we do not look as beautiful as we did in our 20s that we do in our 50s or 60s.
Define beauty. How are you defining beauty?
Physical characteristics of ability to procreate is usually what human beings would denote as intrinsically beauty.
Yeah. Okay,
hip to chest ratios, healthy skin, fertility, all of these things that biologically show a health, those things we can unequivocally say are denotions of health. You can say, well, I'm reinterpreting all of these things constantly, but that's a scapegoat. You know what physical beauty is. And so that's why I don't think you're being genuine when you're answering this question. Can you actually say with all honesty that your wife's physical attractiveness, not emotional or whatever kind of caveat you're making, but the physical attractiveness of your wife has never changed?
I am just attracted to my wife physically today.
Please answer, honestly.
I am. Today. Just because I'm not giving you the answer that you're wanting doesn't mean I'm not answering.
I'm asking if it's changed.
The way I view my wife and her beauty today.
I'm asking if it's changed.
Okay. Are you going to let me answer?
I want you to answer my question, not your question.
I am answering your question. You're asking a yes or no question, and I won't play that game.
Okay, well then let's not be genuine. I tried, you guys.
All right. Is he okay? All right. Well, hello everyone. It's good to see you all. That was our first guest of the day. W's in the chat for all of our guests. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. Give me a follow if you don't follow me already. If you like my content, if you don't like my content, follow me anyways. You might want to come back and argue with the people in the comments sometime. Whoo! Let's bring another guest on. Hey there, what's going on?
Wow, that was amazing. I mean, your ability to listen is, I think that's why we're all here. Like, we're all listeners. We're all on our own. We're on our phones. We're in our bubble. And I think it's a really important place to be when you can actually listen and find, that there are certain perspective differences. So in terms of whether or not, whether we're watching corn is considered cheating, that's not a universal rule. It depends on agreed boundaries of a relationship. But I do consider it a betrayal of trust, especially when there's a degree of secrecy. And that guy said, his partner wasn't aware. So immediately, automatically, that violates agreed rules, especially when it comes to secrecy. It creates a significant emotional divide, potentially. So, yeah, I think there was definitely something that you were getting at. He wasn't prepared to open up as well as he probably could. So, your patience and tolerance is respected.
Appreciate that. I got 2 ears and one mouth for a reason.
Exactly. I mean, I'm a listener. I'm a big fan of being able to absorb and listen. So, but yeah, like the journey that I've had has been interesting. I think I spoke to you 3, 4, 5 months ago.
Oh, cool.
And since then, I've not persisted. I've developed boundaries within, in terms of the relationship that I have with myself, because I think, the relationship that you have with yourself is a reflection of the relationship that you have with other people. And that's the foundation. That's the most important place that you can start.
Yeah, totally. So when we talked a few months ago, what did you share? Were you watching pornography or not, or trying to stop? Where were you at with it?
Yeah, I was happy to divulge that I was consuming, but I wasn't in a relationship at that point. And but I felt guilty because I wanted to find, I think at that point I just wanted to be more healthy. I think it's a lazy place. I think it's psychologically, I think it's a very lazy place to reside in terms of your own, the ability to connect with other people. And that's a big positive, like to motivate yourself and to have that motivation each day to connect and communicate with other people. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, totally. So are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay. So what's it been like for you in the last few months? Have you stopped watching, or you?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good for you, man. W's in the chat. What's up, Danielle? And Nikki, I saw you out there too. So you stopped completely. How has that been for you in the last few months?
That's been absolutely fine. That's been totally, I've just not even thought about it. I think, just the impact that it has on intimacy. It replaces a certain intimacy. Sorry, I can't even say that word. Intimacy, and that causes emotional distress for me and partners that I have. So, I mean, when I say I'm single, I have had multiple partners over the last few months. But I'm definitely feeling a lot stronger, and I feel good.
Nice, man. Good for you. How has it changed how you view people, and particularly like the beauty of people, especially coming off that last conversation I had?
Oh, definitely. Like I think it enhances trust. I think it just creates a more intimate. For me, I'm a giver. Like, I'm an emotional, I'm a guy who listens. I'm not a narcissist. I'm not a control freak. I don't do this to be selfish. I want to meet people and make them feel good. And I have good shared experiences. I want to have positive connections with people. So it's a really positive thing to not have that sort of lazy. I think it's just it's like it's an emotional sort of anchor that I don't need anymore at all.
Mm-hmm. Good for you, man. I love that for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. And yeah, it's like super positive to see you here, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. How old are you?
42.
42. All right. Is it only going to be 42-year-olds tonight or today? Cool, man. What else do you want to share?
I mean, I think that's about it. I mean, your platform here is a super positive place to listen. So ultimately, I'm just here to learn, and if I can contribute anything, hopefully what I said makes sense. And hopefully, there are people here that have the capacity to empathize, especially with themselves. Like, the relationship that you have with yourself is really important. So it's not about conflict. It's not about trying to prove that someone else is wrong. It's not about wanting to be right. It's about just going with the flow, just being in a good place.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate that, and well done. Good
Thanks,
work.
man. Take care.
You too. See ya. Bye-bye. W's in the chat for that guest. Hi, Sarah. It's good to see you. Long time no see. I'll bring another guest on here in just a moment. I want to just address the previous guest 2 guests ago. Not necessarily him, but just some of the thinking there, right? So, one, I think it's something to look at if you, a person, man or woman, is using pornography in secret and hiding it specifically because they're concerned with what their partner might think if they find it, right? I believe that, quoting Jordan Peterson here, whatever happens as a consequence of telling the truth is the best thing that can happen. And I think true intimacy is when we have full communication, revealing what is in our heart with our partner. That is the only way for intimacy to deepen. We have to be courageous enough to tell the full truth to our partner. If we withhold anything, like secrets just destroy intimacy. So that's one. 2, the whole outward versus inward beauty, I would say that is a symptom of what I would call a pornified mind. And okay, how do I know that? Well, I have been there. All right, I got this job for a reason. I watched porn for about 20 years, destroyed my life. The more we watch porn, the more we bring these unrealistic expectations into how we view the world. And I think part of the biggest invitation of marriage is to see inner beauty in other people and not be fixated on outward features. Are they important? Does that matter? Okay, sure, right? But if that's all we're focused on and we aren't seeing into the heart, into the inward beauty, what are we doing? And that's why we can tend to be drawn back towards pornography, because I just want to see the next best X. Okay, well, where does that end? And define best. So, anyways, that's my rant. Let's bring another guest on. What's going on, everybody? Don, what's going on?
How you doing, man? I apologize if my cat is loud. She's like super annoying and she wants something meowing in the background. I'm sorry.
We'll forgive you for that one.
Thank you. I'm 19, and I guess just to be super open and honest, I'm in a relationship. I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for 4 years now, and I have suffered for a while. I've been very open with her about it, and just to be 100% transparent, I went through some stuff when I was really young. and it messed up my mind a little bit. I think
Mm-hmm.
it made me just see things a weird way. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to get across to. So
I
I
got
don't
it.
want to,
I got it.
but in sense, I mean, I was probably like 11 or 12. I've been addicted to watching porn and looking at stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been super open with my partner about it, and she understands, and I'm trying to get better at it. And I guess I'm just asking for advice or anything like that. It's been better. I've gotten a lot better in the past couple years, but it is still something where even if I don't do it, I may be like thinking about doing it, and I feel like that's just as bad as doing it. I want to completely get rid of that urge to want to do it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, man, I appreciate you sharing. And 19 years old, to have the courage to come up here and talk about this live publicly in front of 150 people, way to go, man. That takes a lot of courage, and it shows that you really want genuine change in your life. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Who else in your life knows that you're struggling with this?
Nobody else. That's why I found it so odd that I was just on here and I just felt like I should talk to, I guess. I don't know. I'm not super religious or anything like that. So like
Yeah.
I talked to my girlfriend about it, and she's not very religious either. But she suggested maybe get into a bit of religion, and it's good and better and that stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but I pretty much at the moment it's just her. She's the only one that I've really been honest about it.
Yeah. All right. So there's a saying: the opposite of addiction is not sobriety; it's connection with other people. Now, I'm not saying you're addicted. Maybe you are. Maybe you aren't. You can figure that out. But the opposite of addiction is not sobriety; it's connection with other people. I would have bet that you were going to say nobody else in your life knows about this. That's one of the most common answers I get when I ask that question.
Yeah.
All right, which is no surprise because there's a ton of shame wrapped up in this. Okay, with pornography, and you indicated something happened to you when you were younger. Excuse me, I just had an Olipop. I had to burp. You indicated something happened when you were younger. You started using pornography around 11 years old. There's usually a shame response to that. And shame festers in the darkness, but it can't stand being spoken to the light. So the crazy thing about shame is we try to do everything we can to not reveal what's going on in our heart, all the shameful things. Because we think that if only somebody else knew about this, or they knew what was going on, or they knew what I went through, or they knew the thoughts that I have, that they might judge us.
Yeah.
Or shame us further. But usually the opposite happens when we share that in the right context. Okay, shame festers in the darkness, but it can't stand being spoken to the light. And I would just ask you, man, after sharing that here right now, what's going on inside of you after naming that here on TikTok?
I guess anytime I really talk about it, I mean, I guess especially here, like I want to stop. I feel nothing but just like a drive inside to not do it. I don't feel good doing it. I don't feel good after doing it. It's just like, I mean, like you went through, you're alone and it's late at night and then there you go, it's like that one moment where I have all these other moments throughout the day where I want to stop, I don't want to, and then one moment it's just like it's gone.
Yeah, totally. When did it start? How were you first exposed to pornography?
Like I said, something happened to me a long time ago with someone else, and I was kind of taught about it that way, and it was, I guess maybe I was just so young. It really clicked with me. I really don't know. It just I couldn't stop looking at it.
Okay, that thing that happened to you, do your parents know about that? Have you ever gotten help around that from a therapist or anything?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And your parents don't know?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would recommend getting some help around that. Okay, with a therapist or counselor or something. You mentioned your girlfriend was kind of encouraging you maybe to get involved in a faith community. That can be a place to work on that. Here's the thing with pornography is porn is never the issue. It's a symptom of other issues. And so that thing you're talking about probably is directly connected to your pornography use today. All right, so I can tell you the tactics, the behavior modification things to stop watching porn, but those will only get you so far. You got to go down to the root of the issue and heal through whatever pain was caused by that event, and I'm sure there's other events as well. What are you hearing in that?
More need to. I guess just the way I grew up. I mean, just as I don't know, as a guy, the way I was raised and everything like that, I don't necessarily enjoy talking about how I feel. So that's why I kind of strayed away from therapy for a while. I guess this feels more anonymous, I guess you could say, so it's a bit easier to do it like this.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah.
And that makes sense, right? I mean, so many men in our culture are taught, whether directly or indirectly, that feelings don't matter, don't talk about your feelings, they're useless, they're not resourceful, all that. But I would say the opposite's actually true. And we have to learn how to talk about them. Now, you got to be comfortable in how you do that, and I'm honored that you're sharing what you have shared here with me here today. I don't know that a therapist is the answer, right? But that generally can be a good first line of defense for what you're going through. What's your relationship like with your parents?
We have a really good growing up. It was a little rocky with me and my dad. Nothing ever major, but I'm a kid and their parents and all those. But I moved out when I was 18. No hurt feelings or anything there, and since then our relationship's gotten a lot better.
Okay,
So I'd say as of now, me and all my siblings, we all have great relationships.
got it. If you were to tell somebody more of what's going on in your life, the pornography and that thing that happened, is there somebody who you feel safe enough with to at least tell what happened?
If I had to pick anybody, I guess I'd probably pick my dad.
Okay. Great. I don't know if that's what you need to do or not, but just notice that, right? That you've got this stuff you've been hanging on to, and you're a young man, and you being able to process through this is going to be part of that healing journey for yourself. As long as you've got that pain going on the inside, and I don't know your whole story, obviously, but healing through the pornography use and why you're going back to it will probably persist in some capacity until you really get to the root of what's going on. And to do that will require you to courageously name it specifically in the right context. And again, I'm not suggesting going and telling your dad what happened is the answer, but finding a place where you can do that will be helpful.
Yeah.
You can book a
No,
call with me as well
I
if you
appreciate
want, using the link in my bio. I can tell you about kind of what my process is.
Yeah. No, thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
How, what's your pornography use looking like today? Like in this season of life?
So like I said, it's gotten a lot better. It was really bad. I mean, when I was younger, 14, 15, I couldn't even tell you. It's gotten a lot better. So, maybe once or twice a week, I'll kind of fall into that. I've gotten a lot better these past couple weeks. I've got it down maybe at least every other week, but it's still more than I would like. I would like it to be nothing.
Yeah. Okay. There's a book called Unwanted by a guy named Jay Stringer, and it does come from a Christian faith perspective. So if you're kind of considering faith, it could be a really good entry point into learning more about, pornography and unwanted sexual behavior. And there's a link in my bio to that book as well on the resources page. That book is transformational as you're beginning this journey. And man, I just want to say to you as well, most men never come to terms with the fact that this is a problem and never seek out any type of help. The fact that you're 19 years old and you're at least saying, hey, I want something different is incredible. All right. Good job. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, man. So check out my link in my bio. If you want to chat, you can schedule a call. Check out that book. But man, I appreciate you sharing. And there are tons of resources out there for you. And you actually kind of just did the hardest part of this. I know that TikTok gives you, some amount of anonymity. But you going forward and having somebody you can unpack this with is going to change everything for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. W's in the chat for a guest. All of our guests. I wish I was streaming on YouTube right now, but I got to get my sound working. So we'll do that another time. W's in the chat for all of our guests. It's good to see everyone here. Help Cakes, I see you there. We'll get you in a minute. I want to bring Jesse and Frankie on here, my friends. Help Cakes, you asked if you're a top viewer. I mean, probably. As far as I'm concerned, you're number one. Is your wife there, by the way? How do I see? I think there's a thing that shows like my top viewers. We're friends too. Jesse and Frankie, you guys there? No? All right, we'll get you in a minute. As a married woman, I don't feel corn usage is considered cheating. You want to come on and chat, Mary Carmen? We'll test that belief real quick. Exodus Rebirth. Hey there, what's going on?
I came up here to talk about like is smorn cheating, and I think it is, yes.
Okay, got it. Why is that?
And the reason for that is because I believe it is mental infidelity, right? And I think that is a real concept, and I think that paves the way for you to cheat in physical reality, because before you do anything, right, you have to have like a thought process behind it. Generally speaking, you have to conceptualize it, right? And even if you're mentally engaging in romantic and sexual thoughts about people, that has a real world impact that eventually manifests.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Also, I think that, obviously there's been studies that's proven that, corn, it promotes like the dehumanization of women. You start getting involved in a lot of like perverted and, basically degrading things with women. You start to objectify women and only see them as like ex objects, right? And when you're in a relationship with someone, right, you can't just purely see them in a sexual lens. Right, you have to have something beyond just that, right? You have to see them as a human being as a whole.
Yeah, totally. And that's something with pornography, is that it trains our brain. It trains us to view people as objects, to view people as sex objects. And the problem with that, I think, is that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so if you're reinforcing this belief or thought pattern in your brain through pornography that women are objects or men are objects just for sexual pleasure, guess what's going to happen when you go out into the real world and you look at people? You're going to see them as an object for sexual pleasure. Maybe it's like, oh, the things that I would do to him or her. Those thoughts may be going through your head because that's how you've trained yourself to view people. And that's one of the reasons why pornography can be problematic. Why is this an important topic for you, man?
Because personally, like I used to watch porn. Like I stopped last year, and I started around when I think I was 14 years old. Kind of young, but that's
actually later than the average exposure. Average exposure is by the age of 13.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I used to watch it all the time. And when you think like you've overcame it and you don't really need to watch it, you start to relapse again, especially when you are not very purpose-driven or goal-driven, which I'm still struggling now with, honestly. Sadly, I'm 25, so I'm kind of old.
Wait, hold on. What? You're kind of old?
I'm kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay, then what does that make me? Super
ancient.
Old? Ancient. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay. All right. I'm an hunk.
Yeah, but my issue, and this is like a real issue that I had, and I still like, masturbate occasionally. I need to stop that too. But when I was watching like porn, like after I, ejaculate, I start getting like very depressing thoughts, and sometimes it became suicidal. And I wanted to know why is that exactly? Do you know about that, or am I weird about the things like that?
Well, one, I would say if you have those thoughts, get help. Go to the right services for that. There's plenty of services if you Google that or call. What's the number? 811. What I would say is what I would ask. What you said earlier. There's a saying: a man without a purpose or vision in life distracts himself with pleasure. 988. Thank you. A man without a purpose in life distracts himself with pleasure. So you're right on, man. It's like, okay, when we don't know where we're going, when we're a rudderless ship, it's like I need something to fill my time. And we can tend to then go to things that are addictive in nature to fill that time. So what's going on in your life? What do you do? What are you wanting to do? What are you hoping for?
Well, I work various jobs. I wanted to become probably a voice actor or an actual actor in real life. But right now I'm working various jobs here and there, warehouse, um, where I live at. I think I worked at like a grocery store, if I remember. But basically, I haven't really been, pursuing my goals like I should have.
How come?
Also, I've been struggling with like depression, and also I live in like an isolated area. It's not much, so I'm trying like to move to like a bigger place with more opportunities.
Okay.
I'm trying to change my environment,
Yeah, got it.
and yeah.
What goals are you wanting to pursue that you haven't pursued?
Well, I wanted to like try to get into college personally. Probably become like a welder or something in trade. Um, that's what I wanted to do.
I thought you want to be a voice actor.
Yeah, but I think the likelihood of that I don't want to take that risk, honestly. And I don't think I can really do that. I don't think that's as feasible.
Because you're too old, right?
That, yeah. And
Why?
also,
Why?
I mean,
Okay. Why do you not want to take the risk? Meaning, there's some sort of fear of failure there. What would happen if you take the risk and it doesn't pan out the way that you're hoping it does?
well, I just, how could I say? In real life, I can answer that question better for the reason why I don't want to become like a physical actor, right? Because I have like, I look, how can I say this? Like I have like facial palsy, and I look weird. Honestly, I don't like the way my face looks. Like I have like one side of my face is basically, lopsided. It's weak, and I don't like taking pictures. I don't like the way I look on camera, so I don't want to do that.
Okay. So
I'm
you're
actually
not
disgusted by it.
okay. All right, man. All right. There's a lot there. Um, what's the belief you have about yourself based on the way you look?
That I'm just repulsive. Like I don't like the way I look. Not like in like a feminine way, but like I just don't like it. I look strange. Like my face is just not symmetrical at all. I don't like the way it looks.
Okay. Have you had this your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about how that is impacting your ability to then go out and try new things or pursue new things.
Okay. Well, for one, I don't. Well, it impacts it a little bit, but I also live in an area that doesn't have like much opportunity really, and that's why I'm trying to move. Um, and the reason why I don't really like talking to people, and this plays a role into it, is because like when I talk, like people can for one just look at my face, and they always have something to say about it. And when I talk, like my mouth kind of moves to one side, and like for some reason it just irritates me when people like notice it. It's hard to explain. And it may seem like small, but like, it's just kind of irritating once you have like an abundance of people looking at you and just calling it out.
Yeah, I got it, man. Look, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know what that's like. I imagine that's really hard for you to figure out how to be in your own body given the way that you look and being on your face. I mean, that's got to be tough. And I'm curious if these beliefs you have about your face, about how you look, if there may be an incongruency with how the world actually views you compared to how you are viewing yourself.
So I think no, I mean the thing is that yeah, some people have like said I was ugly, like honestly, and some people have said I was good looking. So I mean I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What's a different way to relate to yourself and how you look?
What's a different way?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I'm either decent or just unattractive and made fun of. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really hard for you to shift the perspective about how you view yourself. Were you bullied when you were a kid?
Not well. I guess in a way, made fun of. I wasn't like beat up. That's my check, but made fun of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like in the beginning stages, like it didn't really bother me that much, but over time, I guess it kind of accumulated.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't have this perception about yourself, what would you be doing differently in your life?
I probably would be more outgoing. I think I probably would have been. Let's see. I think I probably would have been more outgoing. I think I probably would smile a little bit more because when I smile, I have like a cricket smile, and I don't like it. And it also, and I don't know if this is related or not, but like my hairline, like it's like uneven. Like how can I put it? And I think due to the fact that I may have had trauma that may have like affected my hair growth somehow. I don't even know, but like it's very uneven, and I don't like my hair, and I had to cut it bald in order for it to look right. And people used to make fun of me because of that as well.
Hmm.
And like when I walked into like a store one time, like because my hair is so uneven, like it's like literally a patch of hair that's missing on my left side. So I have very uneven hairline, and when I'm young, and when I walk in the store, everyone just stares at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just off. I don't like it.
Yeah, I got it, man. So look, notice how we're not talking about pornography here. I would say what you talked about earlier with your pornography is driving you towards this depression and then other thoughts. Pornography, just consider, pornography is you trying to soothe the pain of the beliefs you have about yourself and what you've experienced from the world telling you about how you look. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think the work here is not how do I stop watching porn? The work is how can I become more comfortable in my body given your hairline and your face. I mean, whatever it is, we can all sit there and nitpick things about ourselves and our bodies that we don't like. And I fully acknowledge and honor what you're saying, right, about what you have with your face. But this is not about porn, right? This is how you're perceiving yourself, and there's like a confidence component here that can be developed where it's like, okay, I can still show up in the world just the way I am and be comfortable in that. I'm not suggesting that's easy either, man, okay? Like that would take a lot of work to work through these beliefs you have about yourself. Do you think that's possible?
I think so, but I probably have to have surgery done, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to like the doctor about it. I don't want to bore you, but they basically said since I had it like since birth, there's no cure for it. So I probably have to have surgery.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, but look, you're able to function in certain roles in your life, right? You said you have a kind of a handful of jobs right now. Why are you able to function in those but not others?
What do you mean, like other jobs?
Well, like you're not pursuing a career in, you said, acting or voice acting. One of the reasons because of this facial thing. So my
Like
curiosity.
in real life acting, yeah, but in voice acting, again, I'm in a place where unfortunately I don't really have that opportunity.
Hmm.
And I also, I don't think that I'm smart enough to really go to like college like for 4 years to get a degree, and I
Where
don't
do
want to
you
get in
where do you
debt.
live? Where do you live?
I live in like a rural area of Georgia.
Okay, bro. Let me tell you something about college. There are colleges. This is meant to be funny. Okay, no offense to anybody. Colleges will let like anybody in. You can be dumber than 100 chickens and still get into college. Okay. I don't think it's your intellect that is preventing you from going to college. They even let help cakes in.
Yeah, so I was gonna probably get like a try to pursue like a trade or something.
Have you tried to go to college?
Yeah, I tried to go to like a technical college, but there was some issues and complications I don't want to get into right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, look, man, I think, I appreciate you opening up about pornography. And here's the thing is, porn is never the issue. It's always something else going on. Beliefs we have about ourselves, limiting beliefs, not having a purpose or vision in life. And I think there's room for you to get a lot more clear on what you're up to, and then going and taking some risks. Like this face thing, I get it, man. I got it. Like that's got to be tough. And like, why can't you be an actor? There's plenty of actors that have face things, right?
I could try probably be a voice actor if I had a good voice. I'm gonna probably do that, but I can't be like a real life actor, right? I just can't with the way
Why?
I look right
Why?
now.
Why?
Because the way I look, man, like it's just terrible.
Okay. Well,
I hate it.
I got it. I've never seen you, man, but I'm saying that there is a role for you, a place where you can fit in the world. Not in spite of how you look or how you view of how you look, but because of it. Because that is what makes you uniquely you. And can you embrace that about yourself and say, like, this is me, this is the real authentic me. I'm gonna go out there and pursue things in the world. And the world can take me or leave me. No problem. Like
I wish your confidence. Honestly.
look, you gotta fail. Put yourself out there and fail. Go get told no 100 times on acting jobs. Have you tried that?
No.
Okay. So you don't know if you can be an actor or not.
Well, I think generally speaking, you have to have a certain look. Like, I don't think I have that look.
Maybe. But what if you're wrong?
Yeah, well, only way to know is try, I guess, like you said.
There you go. There you go. Only way to know is try. And I hear fighter jets above my house. I love when there's fighter jets. Usually I go look at them. But man, we all have a uniqueness and a gift that we offer the world, and only you can do what only you can do, given the gifts and talents and abilities you have. And I would just encourage you to try to rewire the story, the narrative that you're telling about yourself, and confidently go position yourself in the world, saying like, yeah, here I am. This is what I have to offer. And get told no.
All right. Thanks, man. I have to go, but thank you. Nice
Thanks for
talking to
sharing,
you.
man. Yeah, take care. W's in the chat for all of our guests here. How to tell someone is American. Was that American, what I said? I love unique, weird, and wonderful people. Don't hide yourself. I did a like a healing intensive once, and by the end of it, we all kind of like spoke, words over each other, and one time somebody was like, "You're just a very unique person," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take that." Oh, the fighter jets, yeah. Well, I love it. It's so cool when they fly over. Hey there, Brittany, what's going on?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Is porn cheating?
Yes, I think
Yes?
so.
Okay. Why is that?
So I hopped on this chat because 2 days ago, I've been, for context, I'm 25, my boyfriend's 26, and I was under the understanding, like, prior to yesterday that we had, like, pretty much the same understanding of what loyalty is, like, what mental and physical infidelity is, and of that included porn, OnlyFans, like, explicit content such as that. And yesterday I found out that he had like an anonymous Twitter account where he was following like a bunch of OnlyFans models and porn accounts. Maybe not a bunch, it was like 5. But to me that was like extremely shocking and hurtful. And I know like he didn't physically cheat on me, but we talked about it for a long time, and I think he was incredibly like remorseful and understood how much that hurt me, considering my trauma with cheating in the past. And I'm just like not sure whether or not I think I can trust him going forward. Like I know for certain he was like extremely guilty and remorseful, and it wasn't like he was just sorry he got caught. Like he was truly sorry that he hurt me. But I guess like I'm not sure if I can get my body to trust being with him intimately again, if that makes sense. And I know it has nothing to do with me, but like constantly, this is fresh obviously, but like every time I close my eyes, I think of those girls who look nothing like me. And it just makes me think that I guess like deep down behind closed doors, the kind of women that he's attracted to are ones that don't respect their body or their soul, and that's just like not who I am. So I guess I'm just griping with that and would like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you're going through that, and this is so fresh. And I appreciate you sharing here. What has it been like for you the last few days? Like, as you discovered this and you're kind of holding it, what is it like for you?
I think it's very shocking and hard to deal with. Like I go back and forth between like being angry and then missing him and then being like, it's okay, it's not that big of a deal, like maybe I'm overreacting. And I've talked with like a lot of friends and family about this, and I think like their general consensus is like, I think like you should give him another chance. Like your relationship is strong in literally every other aspect. I guess like I just don't know how to like, they're like look for changed behavior, but I honestly would have never been able to find this out if I like didn't go on a whim and look for like some random Twitter account that I knew that he had. Like, you know, he did it behind closed doors. It wasn't like on a public Instagram, or like, not that there was malicious intent or anything, but like how do I see that changed behavior if I don't know it, you know? And how can I believe him when he says like I only have eyes for you, when I think those are two contradictory statements if that's what you're doing, you know? And I know a lot of men struggle with this, and like he told me that the reason he did that was like to get away from pornography, but the accounts were it was pretty much pornography. I don't think any of them were clothes or anything.
Yeah, that's
which I was shocked that that's even allowed on Twitter. Like I didn't know that stuff was allowed to be uncensored and just open. But yeah, I guess I know our love is strong and our connection is strong, and he cares about me deeply. I just think that maybe there was a bit of disconnect.
How long have you guys been together?
A year and a half.
Okay. And you said something like you had some sort of conversation around pornography, you know, how you guys view that, and then you found out this. So what was the conversation? What was your understanding up until this point?
It's kind of embarrassing to say out loud, but like one time he was on a trip, and I saw like on Instagram that he was liking, and these were just random like DJs and celebrities, like not OnlyFans or anything, just like pictures of girls in bikinis, and like they were basically half naked, and it just didn't make me comfortable. So I addressed that with him and said like, this is embarrassing to me as your girlfriend, and this is not respectful to me, like do with that what you will. And he like immediately unfollowed them, like stopped all that. Not that he was liking a ton, it was just like one photo that I noticed and I was like, this isn't okay with me. So for him to think that and to realize that that's not okay, that hurt her feelings, and to take it like 10 steps further. But to him, he was like, well, I didn't realize like that was not okay. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm not okay with you liking bikini photos, and now you're gonna go like porn accounts on like a private anonymous account. Like it just doesn't make logical sense to me. So I mean, he says he understood the boundaries and everything, and in our past, like anytime I address something that is of an issue to me, he is my first partner that I've had who like immediately changes his action. He shows remorse through his actions. So that's why I want to give him grace in this situation. And I understand like porn is an addiction and it's really hard. Like he's addicted to nicotine and like has trichotillomania, like where he picks his hair. So I understand that like addiction is something he strives with. But like we're high achieving individuals. We're both in medical school. Like I know that he has what it takes to stop this. I just don't know if like I'm willing to go through that journey. Like I kind of wanted to just stop.
Yeah. So this happened 2 days ago, and something I noticed about what you're or how you're talking is you're jumping right to. Is that him?
Sorry?
Was that him?
No, that's my dad.
Oh, got it. I was going to say, let's get him on here. I noticed you're jumping to, I trust him. I fully trust him. And I'm curious if you're skipping over like the anger part of the fact that a big capital B betrayal happened here.
Right. I've like fully addressed that, and he knows. Like I've never seen him sobbing before, and he like fully sobbed in my arms yesterday. And he didn't, like when I addressed it with him, he didn't like deny it or anything. He like fully accepted it. But I guess like his defense is like, oh well, I've been in multiple relationships before, and none of those girls like said that this was wrong.
Why is there a defense? You guys talked about it.
Right.
And he went and did something worse than what provoked the initial conversation.
Exactly. And I used to be the person, honestly, in relationships who would stay after being cheated on and disrespected, but I told myself that I would never be in a relationship where that is allowed again because of how much I worked on to respect my body. And I don't know, I'm like grappling back and forth if I should break up with him or give him grace. Because I'm Buddhist, and that's just like how we're raised, is to give people grace.
Well, grace is great, and there's a big betrayal that happened here, and I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you, but I'm curious about the genuineness of his repentance.
Pretty objectively, I'd say like from my parents, my friends, like I've gotten many perspectives. I think nobody questioned like the genuineness of his sorrow. He was like very sorry.
Okay.
And promised like he would never do anything of the sort again. Like he understood the boundaries clearly. He was like, whether you're in the room, outside of the room, like I'm not gonna do that. And he understood like how corrupt porn is, and I think he was like almost embarrassed to talk about it out loud, because I don't think he's talked about it out loud with anybody before. I mean, it's so normalized in his family. Like his dad, if you go on his Instagram, he's following like tons of models, and I think he just grew up from a very different environment than I did. And like it's okay for his dad to be like, "Oh, that woman's so hot," like in front of his mom, which I don't think is respectful at all. Not to say that his behaviors are like exactly like that, but I'm sure having your father figure engage in that kind of behavior like has an effect on you.
So has he all right, so look, what doesn't work when somebody comes to terms with a pornography, I'm going to use the word addiction, but you can decide whether or not that's appropriate. What doesn't work is just stopping cold turkey. That doesn't work. Okay? And so I'm going to assume he's 26 years old, right? So he's probably been using it for at least 10 years, probably closer to 15. Cold turkey won't work. What does work is getting some sort of help. All right? Some sort of coaching, counseling, therapy, faith community, education, support group, recovery group. You have to do something like that in order to have sustained change to heal through a pornography addiction. So it sounds like you're wanting to rebuild trust with him. You're willing to do that. Great. And what do you need to see from him in order for that trust to be rebuilt?
I guess I'm not sure. The thing is, like, it's unseen. Like, it's like he's obviously not doing that in front of me. So how am I gonna know? It's like what I'm struggling with.
Yeah. So okay, he got caught, right? And he seems repentant. He cried. What's the plan?
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh yeah, he got caught. He seems repentant. Okay, great. But now what's the plan?
I'm trying to circle back to our conversation. So he told me like he deactivated like the Twitter before I even went to his house. But I'm like, that's not the issue. Like, there's going to be temptation in all forms throughout your life, like whether you're on Twitter or not. Like, I think it's just like the thought of temptation. We need to work on that not even crossing your mind, because that's not how I view him. And he told me like he would go to church, and I'm not Catholic or anything, so I'm not sure how that will change him. But I guess like talking with his parents and his friends and family, and like writing an apology note to my parents, etc. But I guess I don't have an answer for that. I don't think he has an answer for that either.
Yeah. Well, so that could be worked on, right?
I guess, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, look, I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to you. So I'm not talking to a man who is like, hey, I desperately need help, I want to change. I'm talking to someone who's been betrayed and is grappling essentially with the question of, what do I do? And I'm curious, like, what are you hoping for here?
I'm hoping for things to be like they were before this happened. Because to be so frank, like, our sex life is great. We have sex multiple times a day. Like, there's nothing missed. So for him to have done this a year into our relationship makes me question, like, what to say this isn't going to happen 20 years in a relationship when I don't look like this anymore. Or
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, things aren't going back to how they were. Nor do you want that. Because before was him keeping a secret from you and betraying you and hiding it, and every day living with that and keeping you in the dark. I don't think you want to go back to that.
Yeah. I don't.
So here you are.
But I also don't want to be like the partner who's like, I don't want to have to feel like I'm looking through his phone, or, you know, like I want to just feel like I don't need to look for anything.
Yeah.
But I never have looked through his phone.
So maybe things weren't as good as you thought they were. How does that land with you?
It doesn't feel great, but I obviously like understood that when I came across these accounts. And obviously, like, he's like, this has nothing to do with you or your appearance or da 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 da. But logically, to me, if you think your partner is perfect in every way, then you don't go looking for other naked women to stare at when you already have like a beautiful, loyal partner.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to say to him?
I've said pretty much everything off my chest. I think a boundary I always had with myself was to not name call and cuss, and unfortunately I broke that boundary yesterday. And I apologize for that profusely, like, but I hate that I had to even get to that point. I told him, like, I was honest with everything. I told him how it made me feel, how it makes me change the perspective of our intimacy, like our relationship. I pretty much we talked for literally 12 hours straight. It was a terrible day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How do you deal with anger typically?
I don't really get angry very often, but I usually just cry. And I talk to my parents and my friends.
Interesting. Not that you should be angry, but anger is a resourceful emotion.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I don't, there's not like a lot of things that really trigger me. I guess I have built a life in which I try to avoid those triggers. Like, I hard this time to pick a partner with all my capacity where I knew like this most likely wasn't going to happen. And then it did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not my fault per se, but.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, well, I know this is very fresh for you, and you probably got a lot going on, but what's most active for you in this conversation, and kind of where you're at with this whole thing?
I've been told by multiple people to like give it space and give it a couple of days to think about. Like, in my mind, the good outweighs the bad in this relationship by a long stretch. It's just a matter of like, if I can realistically be able to trust him again in time. Like, I know I'll never be able to forget it. I think that's not going to happen. But whether like my body will be able to be comfortable enough with him again to be intimate or like move forward with our relationship.
Yeah. Real quick, Eric, I'm going to bring you on next here, so hang tight. So here's the thing. Can that trust be rebuilt? Yes, absolutely. And this could be an invitation for you to relook at your relationship to trust. There's 3 types of trust: simple trust, blind trust, and mature trust. Mm-hmm. Simple trust is that of a child. Like a child, an infant, has no choice but to trust that somebody's going to take care of them. It's unconscious. Somebody's going to feed me, somebody's going to change me. Like, I'm trusting subconsciously that will happen. That's simple trust, which nobody lives in as they get older. The second is called blind trust, which most people live in most of the time. Blind trust is the trust that blindly trusts that other people are going to do things that are in our best interest all the time. Okay, so it's like we have our head in the sand, everything is fine until it's not, and then it's like, well, what happened? That's blind trust. Mm-hmm. The third is authentic or mature trust. And authentic or mature trust is the type of trust that says, I trust you, and I know that you're going to hurt me. I know that you're going to do something that will be a breach of trust. Right? Mm-hmm. And if we're really honest about how human beings work, that will happen. Right?
Yeah.
In every relationship. Now, in no way am I saying that to excuse a betrayal like what you've gone through. Okay? And there's an invitation to say, okay, how am I relating to trust? And what am I expecting from the other person? Right? And similarly, what am I expecting of myself as I'm going and being in relationship with other people? right? So if we can reframe how we view trust and get out of blind trust, which is so easy to live in that, right? It's just like, yeah, I'm trusting that everybody's operating in my best interest most of the time. That's not reality. And we're only confronted by that typically when something happens that brings it to our conscious awareness of, shoot, I was blindly trusting there and now I got hurt and this sucks. Okay. So can you rebuild trust here? Yes, absolutely. What will that require? Well, one, from him, it's going to require changed behavior demonstrated over a long period of time. Right? Mm-hmm. He's probably said all the right words in the last couple days. Mm-hmm. Great. I love that. And let's look at the evidence over time. And that is what will allow you to rebuild trust when you're seeing the behavior change, when you're seeing the heart change. Okay? And it'll require a lot of repair and restoration here because you are probably going to experience a lot of betrayal trauma symptoms. There's a great book called The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays that goes into a lot of this. But the betrayal trauma, and I fully recognize I'm talking to somebody who's in med school, so like I trust that you know, there's a lot of clinical data around this as well. Your body is, or rather, the body of a betrayed partner can often feel symptoms of PTSD when they discover a sexual betrayal. I don't know if you're there or not, but there's data that supports that it is very much like PTSD, with the exception of the physical manifestation that people with PTSD experience. So your body's going to go through this whole process over the next, I don't know how long, but probably months or maybe years.
Great.
Well, that's the bad news, okay? But the good news is it's possible to heal. Also, the brain science suggests that it's a 2 to 5 year process to rewire the brain back to normal once somebody begins healing intentionally from a porn or sex addiction. Okay, now I don't know this guy. I don't know if he was addicted or not, but that's just what the neuroscience supports. Again, good news, bad news. The bad news is 2 to 5 years, okay? The good news is it's possible. And what beauty can come from a relationship that has gone through a betrayal and then is restored into something new and different is unbelievable. And you can absolutely do that. But I'm telling you, it's not going to happen just by you guys having 12-hour-long conversations.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was not productive.
I got it. I mean, it's great. It's like probably what was needed in the last 48 hours, right? But there's going to be a lot of healing that needs to happen here.
Do you think space will help?
I don't know. What do you mean by space?
Like time apart from each other. We like pretty much live together.
I don't know. I don't know enough about you guys to answer that. Look, couples do different things as they're going through this. So can a period of separation be useful? Sure, and sometimes, but not everybody does that. Some couples do that, some couples don't. I've seen people heal through this kind of in all of the above, right? Separating, not separating. So it but I don't know the answer to that for you. There's a link in my bio that says resources. I would highly recommend you read the book, The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. And then there's another book called Unwanted by Jay Stringer that would be useful for you, but I would primarily have a man in his position read that book at this point, Unwanted by Jay Stringer.
Okay.
But
thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for chatting. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. That was really helpful.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. All right. W's in the chat for all of our guests on this Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Eric, I'm going to bring you up, but before I do that, I got to go potty. And I'm getting ready for a great conversation, Eric. Okay, so don't go away. Be right back. All right. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Not much. My name's Austin. Nice chatting with you. Are you 18 or over?
Yes.
All right, cool. Is porn cheating?
No.
No.
I mean-
okay.
I mean, no, it's not, because that's not a clinical or scientific term. That's like a figure of speech. Cheating, I mean, it's like cheating on a card game or cheating on a board game. I don't think that word is really the most fitting term for that. And it's
Got
done nothing but cause black and white thinking.
Got it. Okay. So, how would you define cheating?
At most, I've asked. So I'm currently in therapy. I see 2 licensed mental health therapists who work for Kaiser Permanente. I've asked this question. They don't use that term. In couples therapy, they don't use that term either, because it can, it's human nature. So in other words, they might say like an affair. They might say, I think I heard one therapist kind of say, they might say secrets. I think, and I would say I don't even know if there's an answer to that yet. I think that's just called being human.
Okay, so how would you define cheating?
I just told you, I don't think there's a definition. I don't even think, at most you can say affair, you can say infidelity. That's how I would explain it, but it's
Got it. Okay, so
cheating.
you don't think that there's a definition for cheating. Just want to be clear on that.
No, I don't think cheating's the right terminology for it. You see that? You keep asking me, I'm not going to change my answer on that.
I'm not asking. I didn't ask you again. Actually, I'm just clarifying what I heard you say. Which
You did a
was
couple
that-
times.
I did twice, and then I'm clarifying that what I heard your answer was that there isn't a definition for cheating, and you don't think it's the right word.
Okay.
Is that
I'll
right?
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Yeah, that's not the correct terminology.
Got it. What term would you like to use?
I already said, if show me you were listening. If I told you twice, can you show me you were actively listening?
Yep, you actually said 2. You said affair and adultery. So I'm asking you, which term would you
I
like
didn't say
to use?
I didn't say adultery. I did not say adultery.
Okay.
Both the ones that I mentioned. So I don't think that. If you're listening, I think you would know which terms that I've.
Okay, well, I am
expressed.
listening, and I am being an active listener, and I'm seeking to clarify so that I'm not misunderstanding.
Right.
So
I
what
believe
word
you.
would you
I
like
believe
to
you.
use?
I believe you believe that, but I've stated it twice because you've asked me twice, and then you asked me again. I've already said it. I said affair, maybe a secret, maybe you can call it an infidelity at most.
Okay, so I'm asking you again, which word would you like to use so that we can continue the conversation?
Let's say. I say all of those. I want all of those depending on the context of the situation. I don't think to narrow it down like that is going to be useful for anybody. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about taking context into the situation.
Yeah, got it. So I got my notepad open. So will you list all the words now so I can capture them and then we can continue the conversation?
Affair,
Fair. Okay.
infidelity,
Infidelity. Okay.
and also I want people to keep in mind that it's just human nature to be attracted to other people. We're not monogamous beings.
Okay. So affair and
You know-
infidelity.
Nina called it out. She typed it down. Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Got it. So now what? You've said you don't like the word cheating, and you would prefer to use words like affair or infidelity.
Yeah, because I want to make sure you're saying you're a recovery coach. What are your qualifications? Like I know you have anecdotal experience. Are you like a licensed mental health therapist? Do you work in addiction, or is it just sort of like this is your personal thing on TikTok?
I'm a coach, a porn and sex addiction recovery coach, and I also host debates on TikTok framed around the question, is porn cheating?
Understood. So you're not a licensed mental health therapist.
Correct, nor have I claimed to be.
Okay. So this is just purely anecdotal. This is your bias and you're partial.
I haven't. What is my bias and what am I partial towards? I haven't asserted any opinions here yet.
Well, it's clear to say it's kind of like it's like trying to go get surgery from somebody who's not a licensed medical professional, because it's important that if we're disseminating this kind of information out to the public, that this is important.
What information? What information?
Up here, breaking free. I mean, this rhetoric over here, breaking free from what? I mean, as if what is there to break? What is there to
Porn.
be free from?
It says it right there. Breaking free
Right.
from
So
porn.
that's what I'm saying. So this is what I mean. This is your bias. This is your blind spot.
That's what is bias about that statement? That's not asserting an opinion.
Because it assumes there's something to break free from. It assumes that it's like it's clear. It connotes. It's obvious. I mean, you might be taking advantage of plausible deniability, and it's clear which your bias is.
Okay, so look, I'm a coach. I help people who want to recover or break free from a porn or sex addiction or betrayal trauma.
Right.
Okay. Where's the confusion?
The confusion is you're not a licensed you're not qualified to be doing these things. You can mislead people. It's like you
Okay.
can't practice therapy without a license and a master's degree. That's
Okay.
illegal.
Nobody
you
here-
can't practice law. You can't practice
No.
law without passing
Okay.
the bar and have a law degree. You're
Okay.
not qualified to be doing that.
Where have I claimed to be a licensed therapist?
You didn't. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're not
Thank you.
qualified because
All right,
you're not.
so Eric, look, I don't claim to be a therapist. If you want to turn this conversation into questioning my credential or qualification, I'm not interested in that. The proof's in the pudding, okay? I've helped hundreds of people through this very successfully, and oftentimes I work alongside therapists with people who are in therapy. I also refer people to therapists when it's out of my lane, okay? So I'm not interested in having a conversation about my credentials, okay? I'm a coach. I've never claimed to be anything else, all right? So what is this conversation about for you, man?
It is about, it's about that. Like I never said that you claim that. I'm just stating that you are not that. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
Well, it makes sense, but why? Why?
Because this stuff is really important. You're like that young woman, like she's clearly, I mean, as far as she claims, is going through something very difficult, and you're setting her up to fail and like more likelihood for distress because you're not qualified to be guiding her on that kind of stuff.
Okay, so your experience of the conversation that I just had, where I curiously asked questions of a person who requested to talk to me and then referred to her to a couple of books written by therapists, you're saying that could be damaging to her.
Could be, and it all depends. By therapists, maybe not. However, again, overall, it just from given that you're not qualified to do this, even saying that you're moralizing, you guys are moralizing this stuff. Pornography, that's just human nature. It just has a negative connotation. It's humans being intimate. You could be addicted to anything. You could be addicted to fast food. You could be addicted to coffee. You could be addicted to video gaming. A lot of stuff can be addictive, but people, there's shades of gray. And I think this is moralizing things, especially this topic, setting people
So
up.
what is this about for you, man? What is it about for you?
I think-
Why am I bothering you so
I
much?
think I've explained it. If you're actively listening to me, what do you think it's about for me?
I don't know, because it seems like you're wanting to pick a fight about something that has not been claimed here, nothing that I'm representing. I Socratically ask questions here of people who request to talk to me. And I have read pretty much all the books on this topic, most of which come from licensed therapists and other medical professionals. I happen to do this for a living as a coach. I have a lot of experience in this. I've done a lot of work, and I do have certifications in this area. I have intentionally chosen not to be a therapist. I don't want to be a therapist. I'm not interested in that. And so that's what I do. So if you want to have a conversation about something meaningful, I'm happy to do that. If not, I'm going to move on to the next guest.
Yeah, but I just heard it because fight. I'm not trying to fight you. Conversation about something meaningful. I think this is meaningful. So I think you're misinterpreting me like a little bit. I can see it. I think I've gotten what I wanted, and I've kind of shown like, I'm not saying what you're doing is malicious or evil. I'm just really concerned, given the subject, that you're misleading people and you're not qualified to do it. And I've gotten what I wanted. So good luck.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. W's in the chat for all of our guests. Hey there, what's going on? Hello, Kate, you there? Coops Granny, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey there, what's going on?
Okay, I'm super nervous. I've watched your lives before, and I was never had the guts to come up here, but okay, your question. I I don't think porn is cheating, but I also think that I'm a little bit desensitized in a way.
Okay.
And that's why I don't think porn is cheating.
Got it. All right. Why do you think you're desensitized?
Well, when I was younger, I was like sexually abused when I was like really, really young. And then growing up, my brother watched a lot of porn and it was just like normal. And then once he started watching porn, I like started watching porn in like third grade, and then I just never stopped. And like I've gotten into relationships, and like I I didn't really care if they watched it as long as they didn't like cheat on me. But I did get cheated on in like my last relationship, and he would hide the fact that he would watch porn. Like he would, even though he knew that I didn't have a problem with it, he would like hide it anyway, and that would piss me off because it's like, okay, now you're just feeling guilty. But anyways, so yeah, I just always like figured it to be normal. I also never watched The Guy either, like, and I'm not gay, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh, well, first of all, thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry you went through that. And then being exposed to and watching pornography in third grade, that's very young. And you said you think you're kind of desensitized to it. That makes sense. What did you said you've been watching for a while and you haven't had the courage to come up here. What is this about for you? What do you want to share here?
I don't know. Like I have never been able to form a solid opinion on it because I also grew up Catholic, and I like rejected that most of my life, considering that I grew up like in a really abusive household. And then I did become Christian at one point, and during that time I didn't watch porn, and I was like super just like reading my scripture every day. I was super in it, and I don't know, like, yeah, like I think I like failed like one time, and then I felt really guilty. But then I ended up like not being Christian anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you're all right. How can I ask you how old you are?
I'm 20 years old.
20. All right. Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing a little bit is kind of, this conversation has to do with like, what are your beliefs about sex, about your body, about how bodies should be shared, and under what circumstances. And given your story, I'm curious what your beliefs are around all of the above.
Okay, so right now I'm in a relationship, and my partner doesn't watch porn at all. Like, he used to, and he just decided, like, I don't know, like, even his algorithm, no girls on his algorithm, like, he's super healthy. This is actually the first, like, really healthy relationship that I've been in. And he never has told me whether he has a solid opinion on me watching it. But I think that's what got me to come up here, because then I'm like, damn, like, I'm so used to having a partner that watches it too. So then now I feel like, am I violating a boundary? Because back to your question, my beliefs on it is like, I don't think like it's bad if you guys are like consenting to it and you guys are both okay with it. And but I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm desensitized that I think that way. Like, I can't form a solid opinion.
Okay. All right. So let's just say you are. Okay. Let's say you are desensitized to it. What would that mean with how you've got it framed here? What would the impact of that desensitization, whatever, have on how you're viewing this?
What do you mean?
Well, you've used that word a number of times, that you think you might be desensitized because of the experience you had when you were younger and the use of pornography from when you're in third grade.
Right.
So let me ask it this way. What has it desensitized in you?
It desensitized a lot. Like, and a big part that I'm missing out, which is like crazy that I'm saying it on live, but I was like really badly leaked when I was 14 years old on the internet, and that's why my name is Viral Lorena, because I went viral for a little bit. And then that was when I was like 14 years old. And it got like 270,000 views on Twitter, and then I went super down a whole like really bad path, and I got sent away, and I like stopped identifying with it or whatever. But then I had come back, and I went down a really bad path with my ex-boyfriend who was really toxic, and I ended up starting an OnlyFans account. And even like when I don't have it now, I closed it. It was only for like a month, and I was using like drugs at that time too. So like when I sobered up, I don't even know why I started the OnlyFans account. But yeah, so I feel like even from when I was young, because I like me taking videos of myself when I was really young, it just was out of wanting sexual approval. And I knew that. Like, I only felt liked by a guy if he was pursuing me sexually, and not even pursuing me sexually, because I actually am not very sexually active. It was more just like lusting for me, because I also like grew up with a mom who waited till marriage, so I actually haven't had a lot of sexual partners. I just if I'm talking to a guy, I have this thing where it's like, if he's not lusting after me, it's like, you actually like. And because of the OnlyFans thing, then I started to see so many different perspectives. I talked to so many different guys, like, and not in a sexual way, but like just about them as people. And so I got so many different reviews on it, I guess. And so now that's what I mean. Like, I just feel like I can't form a solid opinion.
Okay. All right. So you experienced, I'm not saying this is true with a capital T. You can tell me if I'm wrong or how you would orient to it, but you experienced some pretty significant sexual trauma when you were young.
Right.
Do you view it that way? Like, these events that happened in your life when you were younger and when you were 14, do you use the word trauma?
No, not really. Like, the stuff that happened to me when I was really little, I didn't know that it happened to me until I read my adoption documents, because I'm adopted from Colombia. I was born in Colombia. When I read my adoption documents, that's when I found out that I was sexually abused, and that's when everything started coming back to me. And I didn't see it that way. Even when I was also 14, before it got leaked, I had went to this thing that was one of my brother's friends, and I got sexually assaulted. And I never went to the police about it. I never said anything because I didn't see it that way. I constantly self-blamed. I was like, well, what was I wearing? Like, the typical bullshit. Like, I was just like self-blaming because that's just what I'm used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I see it that way. But like, after I went to therapy and I got sent away, I went to residential treatment for 2 years. I was able to unpack a lot of that, and now I do see like, oh, that was sexual assault, that was whatever the case was. But I don't know, like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. And so here you are now, you're 20 years old, and you're still wrestling with, I mean, essentially, what was the impact of what happened to you, and how are you going to carry this forward in your life with how you view your body and sex and sexuality and intimacy with another person?
Right.
Yeah, that's really hard. Desensitized. If you were to not be desensitized, how might you view this?
I think when I was Christian, I was less desensitized. Like, I started, and I'm not saying that I have a lack of empathy now, and that whole like religion thing is such like a weird topic for me. But during that time, I was like thinking about how when I was doing OnlyFans, I didn't necessarily respect myself. And so, like, watching it, it's like, I don't know what those girls are going through. I don't know what they're feeling about themselves. And it just felt so wrong to just, like, lust over that when I didn't know the concept of it. But it just feels so normal to me. I literally never talked about this, like, ever, and I've been going to therapy since I was 4 years old.
You're doing great. Thank you for sharing. What's coming up for you in your body as you're sharing this?
I guess I just feel a lot of guilt. I'm just, like, disappointed. I don't know, like, I think in a way too, I feel like if I was to change my views on it, and like, it wouldn't even happen now because I'm in a relationship with someone who isn't into that stuff, but it's also that sense of rejection, that sense of like, if I do put up a boundary on this and I stop watching it, like, will that person also feel like they're missing out on something? Or like, will I be like less fun? Because growing up, I think I also consumed a lot of porn because I always wanted to perform the best in the bedroom because I didn't want to be left because I wasn't like doing enough or because there was someone online that they were watching that was better.
Yeah, so, all right. It sounds as though there's something you're holding on to by not changing your view on porn. And I mean, look, the emotion that you just tapped into when you talked about you doing OnlyFans, that means something deep for you.
Yeah.
What would happen if you changed your viewpoint on pornography, on sex, but more importantly, with how you view, I'm going to call this sacredness of your body?
I don't know, because I feel like physically I have always felt like very sacred when it comes to like who I let touch me and like sexually pursue me. Like I've never had a one night stand or anything like that. I've never done stuff like that, but I don't know, like I don't know how it would change, honestly.
What are you worth?
I think a lot. I'm actually a pretty like confident person, and I've like worked a lot on my self-perception and my inner monologue and like how I see myself. I believe to be like a good partner, a good daughter. I'm a great friend. I think something in me believes that this isn't right, and I just keep telling myself that it is. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. So can I give a perspective here?
Yeah.
Okay. That statement, there's something in me telling me this isn't right, but I keep telling me that it is. It's almost like if you were to go with that thought that says it isn't right, then you got to go all the way back to before you were adopted, to something that happened that you don't even remember. And it's like you got to relook at your whole life. And by the way, you might not remember it up here, but the body keeps the score. Your body remembers what happened.
Yeah. And I know that something happened because I do a lot of yoga. I always I get emotional a lot when I do anything with my hips and stuff. And I also did what is it called? It's
EMDR?
like EMDR. While I was away too, and that's what actually helped me remember my sexual assault from high school. But I've never really been able to remember too much on actually what happened in Colombia because I was so young. I was adopted when I was 4 years old, and it happened before then. So I was extremely young when that happened.
Yeah. All right, check in with yourself. What's occurring for you?
I mean, I feel honestly a lot of relief just being able to talk about this. I don't know. That's mainly the thing. I just feel good. Because, it's been months. I've been watching it for months. And I just, debated. But then I was like, no. Because I felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because I know there's, so many girls on here who probably feel violated. And then I'm just, out here in relationships with men, almost validating what they're doing. And I feel like that doesn't help anything either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So look, again, you got a tremendous amount of bravery and courage to come and share this, and I'm honored to be in that with you. There's something here to where it's like you want to change how you view pornography, sexuality, but there's also something holding you back from doing that. And, there's a question in there of, what is your sexual ethic? What do you believe about sex and monogamy and relationships and the way it, I'm going to say, should be? And are you living congruent with that? Right? And it sounds like there's this tension, particularly with pornography, of I don't know, but if I were to change my viewpoint, then it would have all these downstream consequences for you.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think it would have consequences. I just don't know if I could stay consistent in it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and maybe consequence isn't the right word. What I meant by that is just you'd then have to start unraveling a lot of viewpoints. Right? That's what I mean. Okay, so you'd have to stay consistent. All right, fine. Baby steps, one step at a time. Look, what happened to you when you were 14, that's terrible. That is traumatizing for something like that to get out there.
Yeah.
That's awful. Man, I can't imagine what was that like for you? Gosh.
Well, at first, I was immediately in defense. I tried to act like I didn't care, it didn't hurt me, because I found out through a group chat of my friends. They sent the link in the group chat, and I was on a road trip in the middle of nowhere, and I got service for 2 seconds, and then I wasn't even able to reply to the link.
Jeez.
And so I was just processing, and I was in the car with my mom too, and it was just me and her, so I was processing that this blew up. And then I kind of just avoided school. I didn't feel I had a feeling that people were going to come up on it eventually, but I didn't think that it would blow up, and that's what I think affected me the most. And then the way that I went about it wasn't the best either. I wasn't able to actually start acting in a healthy manner until as of 2 years ago. After that happened to me, I was upset, but I more used it to my advantage, and I was doing not very legal things. And
well, you were 14.
Yeah.
How were you supposed to react to that situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What We've been talking for 20 minutes.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. What are you like? Where are you at? It sounds like you're kind of in this, like, I don't know if I should talk to my partner about pornography. I don't know if I should be doing it, but I think like,
Well, I do talk to him about it. He's aware that I watch it, and like he doesn't necessarily have a problem with it. But it's not about him having a problem or not. I respect him enough to, it's like, well, if you're not watching it, then like, why should
Well,
I be?
yeah, I think the question for you to really tap into is, why do you watch it? Right? Why do you watch it? There's something for you in your story that it's appealing to you for something, right? And sometimes, one of my mentors once kind of explained this to me, is, at least for her and her story, that she began to conflate sex with love. That I can only experience love through sex. And therefore, I need to go do these things sexually in order to experience love. Sex is a representation of how people love each other, of course, right?
Right.
But sometimes they can get conflated with what sex means and what love means. And we can get confused, right? Pornography, speaking from the men's standpoint, it's like, it can be like, oh, this is a way to experience love. I'm going to go use pornography, but it's a synthetic, fake, not real way to experience love and intimacy. And it leaves us wanting more every time because it's false, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious for you, if you can tap into that. Why are you going to pornography? What is it satisfying in you to where you're going back to it?
Honestly, it's just become a habit. It's like visual stimulation to me. Like, it's not even like I'm searching up a certain thing or like I want a certain person. Like, it's nothing like that. It's more just like, okay, like I want to watch something. Oh my god, I sound like such a fucking pervert. I like want to watch something while I'm doing it because I don't want to just like, I don't know. And then sometimes like I do it alone too. Like, it's not like I need to watch it to do something too.
Yeah, I would invite you to consider that it's probably deeper than that. It probably does mean something more. It's not just something you have on in the background. And there's a saying in this is by Jay Stringer. He says, we don't go watch pornography, or we're not addicted to pornography broadly. We go watch, or we are addicted to the types of pornography that we watch. Meaning, there's some types of pornography that you might watch, or I might watch when I use pornography that I
watch like soft porn.
Okay, so that I might be like, nope, not watching that. And there's other types that pique what's called an arousal template in us. Okay, so just think about that. Certain types of pornography might be interesting to you and others may not. And therefore you have to look at, okay, this is not just pornography broadly. There's a reason why I'm watching what I'm watching. And when you can unpack that, then you can actually figure out the meaning of it for you.
Yeah. And I know, like, I think I know. But I think that's like something more I need to talk about in like therapy rather than like in front of a bunch of people, because I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a horrible person.
Who here thinks that she sounds like a horrible person? Who here thinks she sounds like a horrible person? Look, and yes, that may be a very good thing to unpack with your therapist, okay, to dive into that meaning. Until you can figure out the meaning and dive into it with curiosity, it's going to continue to be, am I a pervert for watching pornography? Right? But as you can get into that, then and really make sense of it, make meaning of it, then it'll lose its power over you, and you won't even want to go to pornography because you'll be like, oh, I was actually trying to, whatever, reenact something or reverse something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, how you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Anything else you want to share?
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for everyone being nice in the comments too.
Yeah. All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, W's in the chat. for our guests, for all our guests, most of them. There was one that maybe gets like a lowercase W. Eric, you still there? Who's next? Adam, you're back already, man? I'll bring you up again. Dude Master, what's up, man? Hey, what's going on, Adam? You're back.
Hey, you added me. I wasn't sure if you intended that, but man,
Well, you
that
requested
was,
again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was happy to join you again, of course. I mean, that was an interesting experience in terms of her ability to share emotionally. I think it was from an emotional point of view, her ability to share how she is experiencing her relationship with her partner, and also the conflict that exists between herself and the occupation that she's currently pursuing. So it's a complex, it's a mix of different aspects. So yeah, I mean, it's always good to.
There was a lot there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a lot. There was definitely a lot, and she did very well. Like that was a cool thing to be able to listen to. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks for sharing.
No, that's cool, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care. All right, let's take another guest. A lot to unpack, a lot of can of worms. Yeah. Why do you say cold turkey doesn't work? Because it doesn't work. Behavior modification by itself is an incomplete way to approach this. Can you experience a period of success or sobriety, what some might call it? Sure, you can just by stopping. But until you resolve what's going on beneath the surface of what's driving you to the behavior, you're probably not going to have long-term success with it. So, yeah. Dr. Doug Weiss once said, the odds of relapse within 6 months if you don't get some sort of intentional professional help, meaning diving into the root of the issue, is basically 100% if you don't dive underneath the surface. All right, that guest wasn't there. Let's talk to Lola. Is it a red flag if someone you date watches Corn a lot? It depends. It depends on what kind of relationship you want with the person. But more on that later. Hey there, what's going on?
Okay, so I had an addiction because I've been watching it since I was 8 years old. And it's a lot to break down. So is it cheating? I feel like when you're in a relationship and you watch it together to get to some sort of point of climaxing, I feel like it's totally fine. However, I always say that what you can't do in the light of day when you're in a relationship, it might be construed as cheating. For example, if you got to do it hidden, if you got to lie about it, if you feel like it might be wrong because your partner might see it in a certain way, then yes, it would be cheating. Now, if you tell them, hey, I just went to go watch a video very quickly to get off, and your partner's okay with that, I personally don't think it's cheating. But you got to be very careful, because watching it, and I'm speaking from personal experience, when you're watching it and it's starting to substitute the need for a real person or real relationships, that becomes problematic.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So, 8 years old. What happened when you were 8 years old that you started watching pornography?
So it was curiosity. My mom had cable, and she didn't, obviously, for us it was new. We grew up very poor. So when my mom got cable, she didn't know that she had to block certain channels. So I believe back in the day it was called the Spice Channel, and it wasn't blocked. So and I could just flip over to it, and it started the curiosity. So then that ignited in me curiosity that has led through late of my early adulthood, where I would just continuously watch it because it was just curiosity. And it promoted me to explore sexuality in a very dangerous way, because it started with different or in many different partners, which got to a very bad position to where then I needed to seek therapy for sex because it got me addicted to it. And then I ended up having to go through therapy, which I relapsed a lot. But now I don't want to say that I'm like saved from it, because I'm definitely not. There's definitely been times where I just go on it very quickly to get off, if you want to call it that. And then I turn it off. But now that I have like a stable relationship where it's like I'm not substituting relationships for that, then I want to say that I'm a little bit better, but it's definitely a lifelong battle when you're dealing with that, especially when you're by yourself at home. You have nobody to talk to. You're feeling a certain way. Your partner's at work. And sometimes you just resort to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just one of those like really tricky subjects.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So 8 years old, and you're still kind of battling with it today.
And I'm 38 right now.
38?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're around the same age, and in the early, mid, late 90s, we didn't know about what was out there on the TV channels and the internet when the internet was kind of becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I sound old when I say that. All right. So what impact has it had on your life? I mean, you indicated your sexual partners in your early 20s and continuing to struggle with it, but let me back up. Did anybody know that you were watching pornography when you were 8 years old, or was it totally?
It was very hidden. I would know, like I would hear the creaks of my door, like the stairs, where I can tell if somebody was coming to where I could just change it or turn it off. And then, when I got an iPad, not an iPad, a laptop, I would watch it on my laptop. It was very hidden until I was at least 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 years, I battled it,
wow.
In silence. And then when I turned 18, I didn't really care for people to know because I was an adult. And then I was already exploring my sexuality with partners around 14 because it just ignited something in me that got me curious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's your relationship with it today? Like, how often are you using it?
Probably 2 times a year.
Okay, so you've really curbed it down, and it still creeps its head up sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to. It's sometimes it's like when I'm by myself, and I'm very like. Sometimes I just have a certain need, and I'm by myself and I need to get off it, and then I resort to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the only thing that has helped me is that I have a partner with the same amount of sex drive that I have. So whenever he's home, he satisfies it to where I feel content. But there are some times where he's not home and I don't feel content and I just need to get off. And that happens about 2 times a year.
And then you use pornography?
And then I use that because I need to have some, and it's not pretty much looking at it, it's hearing it. It's the sound. Because I don't need to look, I just need to hear it.
Okay. And what does that sound do for you or represent for you?
I think it just makes me feel like excited, especially when I'm hearing certain sounds or certain like moaning or whatever. I feel like that makes me excited to where now I can just, like I said, climax and then turn it off. Like I don't need to continuously watch it. I just need to get to that point and then turn it off.
So the sound brings a level of excitement to you.
Mm-hmm.
What if instead of porn, you just got like a couple pieces of bologna and hit them, like smacked them together?
it's the moaning. It's not the body's, it's the moaning.
Got it. That was a joke, by the way.
No, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there's something I'm wondering what that represents for you, though. Loneliness. Somebody said in the chat. How does that land with you?
It could be loneliness. It could be. I hate to use the word horniness, but it could be that too. Like at that specific time when I'm doing it, my partner has been at work for maybe, an X amount of hours, maybe an OT shift or whatever, and I'm feeling a certain way, and then I resort to that.
How do you feel after you use pornography in those moments?
Extremely dirty, real bad. I actually get very apologetic, and I do talk to my partner about it, and I let them know. And he starts, he feels his way too, because he feels like, yeah, I did cheat in a sense. For him, it's more of a relief that I'm not out there physically doing it with someone else, but it's more like on an emotional level. It's just weird. I don't know. It's one of those things where I just battle internally.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's interesting that comes up a couple times a year, only a couple times a year, and yet you're still going back to that. What do you want it to be different?
I just honestly,
if anything,
I honestly feel like I would love to stop watching it, and that is and I'm glad that it's gone down to maybe 2 times a year rather than the 10 that I was doing it or more, because it used to be more. But I feel like that going through therapy has been helping me a lot, because it's helping me find my self-worth as well, because I felt very low on the ground, especially coming into this new relationship, and him knowing how many partners I had. I felt like that was making me feel a little depressed in a sense. But he being more accepted now is helping me and therapy. But it's just annoying that I keep resorting to it. I just hope that in the future it stops.
Yeah, great. Well, yes, hope is not a strategy though, and you've done a lot of work around this, I can tell. What other possibilities are there? Okay, so twice a year you have this feeling, your partner's not there. Pornography seems like, the best available option. What else could you do in those moments?
I honestly feel like I need to maybe, and what's helping me too is that instead I go to the gym, because I have a gym at my complex. So I think that, and this is something that we were working on, that the next time that I have this feeling, instead of staying at home where I'm by myself, just go to the gym downstairs and just work out. And then that's what my therapist was saying, just try to associate or try to divert that attention from that to something more physical, where you can use the endorphins and use endorphins to make you feel better rather than getting off sexually.
It sounds like a plan.
I think that's what the next time I get that feeling, I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I do have a 24-hour fitness club at my house. So I feel like next time that comes up, I'm just gonna go downstairs, work out, and just get a good sweat on to make me feel better.
Nice. Well, and also, communication is very helpful as well, right? So there's a feeling that you're having, right? Probably a desire for some sort of connectedness, right? And that's what we're actually looking for, I would say, when we're going to pornography, is we're wanting to be connected to another human. But if a human's not there, porn seems like it's going to fill that void, but it usually leaves us feeling worse afterwards. I think you said the word dirty afterwards, because it's like, oh, this isn't right. This wasn't a connection with a person that I actually wanted. And so, things like going to the gym, yeah, that's a useful tactic. And how could you maybe look at underneath of what is the longing for connection beneath the surface? So, but thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Take care. W's in the chat. All right. I'm going to get going here in just a minute. I'll take maybe 1 or 2 more guests. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. both for men who are struggling with porn or sex addiction and want to break free from that to heal their relationship, and women who are going through partner betrayal trauma, the trauma that a partner experiences when a sexual betrayal has been occurred. I do groups on Tuesday nights as well as Wednesday afternoons, both for men and women, led by myself and other female contributors. I also do one-on-one coaching with individuals and couples. If you're interested in that, you can schedule a call with me, a private call that won't be on TikTok, using the link in my bio. Callie, what's going on?
Not much. I was gonna talk about, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I've heard this from other people too in my life, but they'll try to like minimize it and say that it's not cheating and things like that. And I know there's people that think that. It kind of frustrates me, like when people close to me say that, because it just feels like minimizing. But also like I can't control what other people think, you know, so I feel like the most important person to acknowledge that it's cheating is Adam. That's like the most important person. But I was talking to like ChatGPT about it to like just kind of acknowledge, like talk about like why it was frustrating and stuff. And they brought up like an interesting point that I just wanted to like bring up. So that's like how it even came up. But they were saying that they were kind of like trying to differentiate it from physical, like a physical affair. And they were saying that like in porn betrayal, that they may be separated, like they may compartmentalize, and they may like go act in ways that go against their values because, and still like love you, but they're acting in ways that go against their values because, and they know internally that it's wrong, but they feel like shame or stress or whatever, and that's why they keep going back to the behavior. But they also feel like a dichotomy, like I know this is wrong, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but they also do it for whatever reason that keeps drawing them back to it. And I challenged it and I said, well, can't the same dichotomy be said for a physical affair? Like, can't you also say that someone who's having a physical affair could feel this dichotomy where they're feeling like I shouldn't be doing this, I know this is wrong, but something is drawing them to the physical affair, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people make these comparisons where they differentiate it from physical cheating a lot. But when you break it down, it really could be said of a physical affair when you break down the comparison, for many of the comparisons that the ways they try to distinguish it from a physical affair.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you know, there is a distinction there. I think one thing that's important is other people like to be the expert on you and your relationship. But what are the vows and commitments you guys have made to one another?
Yeah.
Right? And so if pornography is a boundary that you guys have to where we do consider this cheating, then other people can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it's what you guys decide.
Yeah. That's what I was saying too. I feel like it matters what he's the most important person that matters that agrees with it. And that's the other thing. I don't feel like other people can decide what is cheating within your own relationship. Like that's why if someone says it's not cheating in their relationship, I can respect that and say, okay, if that's what you decide for your relationship, that's fine. That's your choice. But like, it's weird how people have such a problem when I decide it's cheating in my relationship. They have such a problem with that. But I can respect the fact that they're deciding it's not cheating in their relationship, you know?
Yeah.
But,
totally.
Yeah.
People say weird things all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just watch my lives.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye. All right. W's in the chat. Last guest here. Isabella Johnstone. Hello.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Is porn cheating?
I have been listening for, about an hour, and I really appreciate the last guest and kind of the thought on is porn cheating is, very selective on the relationship and the boundaries that everyone sets. I really find this helpful and wanted to just share that, I have always been the kind of person, I don't know, I think my boundaries are a little bit grayed because I have, like, for me, my partner watching porn is okay, but like, if they physically cheated on me, it would be like a, like absolute, heart wrench. And
You want?
and
Can we test your theory on how much you really believe that?
I don't though, because I feel somewhat sometimes asexual myself, and I've always been very much so like very trusting of my partner, and whatever they do, as long as they don't physically cheat on me, then yeah, I'm okay with it. But I think it's been really weighing on me lately, you know? Um, and I feel like I question my thoughts about, okay, yeah, you can watch porn if you want. And, you know, I just feel like it's really like, yeah, questioning my thoughts about about all of that lately because especially like sexually, I just feel like it weighs on me a lot more than I thought. I didn't previously consider it cheating. Um, and now it's just really affecting like my own self-worth and um, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just I feel like I've never really had a problem with it until now, and so it's just bringing up questions. And to me, physical is most important. However, I think that maybe that's some suppressed emotions, and I'm not actually as okay with it as I thought I was.
Okay. Well, hey, look, I appreciate you sharing that. It takes a lot of courage to challenge your own beliefs, right? But that's how we grow in wisdom, right? Is by
Right.
not taking everything so seriously and being willing to say, you know what, I want to push this a little bit. What is the most active question going through your head with regard to like, I got to rethink this here?
I think I just always thought it was kind of, I don't know, normal or natural, but as long as it wasn't, which it's not, but as long as it wasn't affecting, as long as my partner wasn't physically cheating on me, that's what I cared about the most.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm realizing that it's kind of weighing on me in my own relationship because there's never been any indication of this, but I just assume that there's comparisons happening there.
With towards you and pornography?
I think so, yes.
Okay. You said you may be asexual. I'm looking at your profile picture. Are you heterosexual, homosexual?
I'm heterosexual. I just mean like I go through phases,
Got it.
So I feel like I'm always okay with my partner resorting to porn if I'm not feeling as adequate in certain times.
Got it. Okay. All right. So you're kind of wondering maybe there's a little bit more than just the line where physical cheating begins.
Right.
So here's one. Can I give you a perspective on how to look at this?
Yes, yeah, please.
All right. So here's one way to look at it is how would you feel if your partner were to ask somebody else, maybe it's through text or over the internet, for naked pictures or videos to be sent to them? How would you feel about that?
I would not feel good about that.
Yeah. You wouldn't feel good about it, right? So nothing physical occurred.
Right.
But what your partner may be doing in that is they're saying, okay, I've got you here, I've got my partner, but I'm going to go to somebody else
Right.
try to create some sort of sexual experience with them, whether it's in person or not. I want to see their body. I want to use their body. I want to consume their body. I want to lust after their body.
Right.
Right. And so your response there where you're like, oh no, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. It's like, yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah. I think my biggest fear is emotional and physical connection with someone else, with my partner. And then for me, sometimes I don't know why I've compartmentalized it a little bit as in, oh, these aren't people that we necessarily know, or I feel like I've always been like, I have really high standards for myself, but I've always been like, I just have like a fine line. Like, I'm not going to be jealous. I'm not going to be checking your phone. But if you cheat on me physically or emotionally, it's over. And so then I've always been okay with, like, I guess, knowing that my partner looks at porn, and but then I feel like it's coming back to me now and weighing on me, because I've started to compare myself and just wonder, is this affecting our physical and emotional relationship?
It's a good question to ask. Thank you for the gift. It's a good question to ask, right? And I would say it is because one thing that pornography teaches people is that it's kind of like sex is an on-demand thing. You just press a button and then you can have a sexual experience in the way that you want it. But that's not how it works in real life, right? In order to have a sexual experience, generally, you have to like do something. You have to be a person who has something going for them, to attract somebody else, to have a conversation with somebody else, right? Which may culminate sometimes in a sexual experience, right? Through porn, I'm oversimplifying all that, but you get the point. In porn, it's like, I open a browser, I click a button, and I can curate whatever sexual experience I want. And that's not how it works. And over time, if that's how we're training our brain and our body to view sex and intimacy, we're going to start to expect that in real life.
Right.
And then when we try to do that in real life, it's like, wait, this isn't working like it does in my porn life. This actually takes like effort to do something, to become somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So you're onto something here.
No, that's very important. And I think, I think I've always just traditionally viewed porn as, it's separate, right? It's something that you don't, these are strangers. You're just watching it for one purpose and that's it, right? No further connection. But it really does bleed into your personal life.
Well, totally.
And that's kind of what I'm grappling with right now.
Yeah, I got it. And even think about that, right? Think about what you're saying. And I hear that a lot. It's like, you wouldn't just go up to a stranger in real life and start masturbating at them, would you? That would be weird.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So why is it now all of a sudden acceptable to masturbate at a stranger on a screen?
Right.
The only difference is there's a piece of glass between you.
Yeah.
And some distance.
Right.
Right? So it's so interesting how, we make that separation. Oh, it's a stranger, it doesn't matter. No, that's still a person. It's still a person. And would you treat them that way in real life? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely not. Yeah, well, that's really helpful. And I appreciate your context, because it's just something that I've been recently struggling with. And, I don't so much watch it myself, but I feel like in the past I haven't had a problem with my partner as long as it's someone that we do not know. And now I'm realizing that it's really bleeding into my personal life and physical connections and all of that.
Yeah. Well, great awareness. I love how you're challenging your beliefs. Love that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate your time, and really appreciated just listening in on other people's perspectives as well.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. W's in the chat for our guest. Help Cakes is here. for those of you who are regulars, you're welcome for what's about to happen. And for those of you who are not regulars, whatever questions you have about what is about to happen are valid. So, Help Cakes, how's it going?
Oh, good.
It's Good Friday.
Yeah. Well, we're Jewish, but we
Oh, yeah.
decided
I forgot.
We decided to celebrate anyway.
Okay. Well, maybe this is the year for you. Okay. So what's going on? How's the wife? How's the porn? How's the rabbi?
The rabbi's doing good. From what he told me, he's cut back.
Okay.
And
What about you?
well, I'm a different story.
Help Cakes.
I tried.
And then what happened? You tripped and fell again, didn't you?
No, I didn't fall. I caught
Okay.
myself on the desk. Luckily.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah, my wife though, she did trip again.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Is she okay?
No, I hurt my knee.
Oh, you're here?
Yes,
You hurt your knee? What did you trip and fall on?
one of his socks.
Oh, the socks, Help Cakes. The socks. You got to stop at the socks.
Yeah, hello.
You did this all backwards, man.
Hello.
Oh, is this Help Cake's wife again?
Yes, me.
Oh, hey. So you hurt your knee?
Yes. I had a. It was all black and blue.
Oh, no. Because of the socks. So is he watching porn again?
I couldn't even wear my mini skirt.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, he's watching it constantly.
Help Cakes. Help Cakes. Why, man? Why? Just get some bologna.
What should I use the bologna for?
Just smack it together and listen to the sound.
I have some kosher salami.
Nobody's harmed in the smacking of bologna, but people are harmed in the making of pornography.
What about Hebrew National salami?
Hey, if it's got to be kosher, you can use that as well.
No, we're not. We don't keep kosher.
Okay.
We're,
All right,
we're
man.
not good Jews.
Help Cakes, thanks for sharing. I appreciate your patience.
Wait, I got something to say.
Okay, what's that?
Everybody have a very, very, very nice Easter.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Help Cakes. We'll see you guys next
no
time.
problem.
Okay, bye-bye. Dude, Help Cakes, I actually want to talk to you sometime. Like, I want to do a Zoom call. I just want to see what you're like, man. Shoot me a DM. I'm going to bring this Nancy person on because you gave me a cowboy hat with a mustache, and that was fun. So I'll bring you on as the last guest, and then I'm going to go. Hey there, what's going on? Hello? Hi there.
Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah. Are you 18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 43.
Okay. All right. Is porn cheating?
Is porn cheating? I feel like I am on the fence, but like I do feel betrayed when my partner watches it, and like I want to be like the cool girlfriend, and like we would watch it together, except we have different like I'm not into the lesbian. That's all he watches is the lesbian stuff, and when I resort to it, which is like once every 2 months, it's just regular like man on woman stuff, but I just, it's such a rare thing for me to do it. I mean, to use that as an aid. It's more like out of boredom or as an aid to assist me, like to get something done faster and to get something over with. But yeah, like last night he was watching it right next to me, and I was like just in tears next to him. He never knew that I was crying, but I just felt like really betrayed. And I mean, we've been together for 6 years, so it feels silly. I feel like the problem is me, like there's something wrong with me for feeling this way. I don't know why. I feel like I'm supposed to just be cool with it and get over myself and just, I don't know how to feel about it. but I do feel betrayed. So that I feel like, but then again, at the same time, I feel like maybe I can't fulfill all his needs or whatever. So, and like, part of me is glad he has that to like assist him, but so I want him to get his needs met, and I don't feel like I can necessarily do all that. But although I do feel like I can do all of that, because we have a pretty good schmeck's life, like pretty decent, I'd say, like at least 3 times a week. At our age, that's like pretty okay. I don't know.
All right. Nancy,
Yes.
how do you really feel about all this?
Well, I feel like he has a problem too. Like, because he admits that, like, since he was 11 years old, he's had this addiction, and like, so I understand it is a problem, but the thing is, he can perform pretty regularly, so it's not interfering with that. Because, like, you know how when they have their addiction, like, it usually messes up their real life performance. Well, it's not doing that, so I feel like who am I to take that away from him? But I did mention it to him a couple times, and he did say that he does want to stop.
Okay. All right. So it's interesting. First of all, thank you for sharing. I hear the pain in your voice, of the betrayal, particularly him doing it right next to you. And so on one hand, I heard you say, like, I am devastated, he's betraying me, and I'm right there. And on the other hand, you're like, oh, I'm glad that he has this resource, this tool available.
Right.
And, like, I should be a cool girl and allow that.
Right.
But I don't know that that's what you really believe.
What I really believe, like, in a perfect world, like, if I had it my way, he would be focused on me because he's with me, and, like, is so far from everything he tells me. Like, I'm everything he wants, and I even, like, went to rehab, and I even, like, got clean, like, super clean for him, and I even lost like 30 pounds. Like, I got into my best possible maximum, like, healthy person to try to please him. Obviously I did it for me too, but it was like he was my main person to, like, impress, and, like, it just feels like I'll never be enough. You know, and it feels like I deserve someone who sees me as enough. And, like, I mean, he always tells me I'm beautiful and this and that, but I just don't feel like I'm enough because he turns to that. And I also feel like his ultimate fantasy is to see 2 girls together. And I can't stand being with another girl. I've even tried it multiple times, and I hate it. I hate it. I like men. I like the scruffy, dirty, harsh, like, stubble men. Like, that's what I'm into. And I just, like, I even went so far as to even be willing to, like, put on a show with another girl for him just to please him. But he's put a stop to that because he doesn't want to ever allow a third person, because he doesn't think I could handle it. And I know I can't. I know I wouldn't be able to. And he knows that about me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are you wanting?
Oh, that is a good question. I want him to, but see, the thing is, if I have him just focus on me, And if he were to give that to me, I'm afraid that I might not be enough. That's the thing. Like, what if I...
So this boils down to you feeling whether you're enough or not.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, so it's like, let's keep a little bit of pornography around, because if we do that, then we don't have to be confronted with finding out the answer to that question, am I enough? Is that how you kind of got this framed?
Yeah, because like I lost all this weight, and then now I don't have a chest or a butt. You know, like it's like when I was heavier, at least I had that, but now I have nothing. And it just feels like I'm not enough.
Okay. All right, so you lost weight and your body's different, and now you're feeling like you're not enough. Okay, well that's a doozy.
Oh man, I'm my own worst critic, I guess.
Well, are you more than just where the fat is on your body?
Yes, that is so true. That is so true.
So if you really believed in your enoughness, what would you say to him, or how would you show up differently in how you've got this wired in your brain?
I would expect from him what I give to him. Like I give him 100%, I feel like.
So you would expect a little bit more out of him, or maybe a lot more out of him.
A little bit more.
Just a little bit
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more if you saw yourself as enough. So what are you afraid of if you were to posture yourself in a way that demands more or asks for more or wants more? What are you afraid of if you were to do that?
I'd be afraid of not being enough. So, but I am enough. I just got to fake it till I make it. Like, I just got to believe that. I got to believe I'm enough.
Okay, what if instead of faking it, you just like actually believe that?
It's true, because I believe he's enough. And I know he doesn't believe he's enough. And like a lot of us don't feel like we are. And,
yeah, I got that. By the way, his porn use, I would say his porn use is not why you don't feel like you're enough. I'm not saying that it may feel like that, but there's something going on in you that's saying, hey, pornography or what my partner is looking at is going to determine how I view my enoughness.
I see what you're saying. That's a trick. Yeah, there's truth in that. There's definitely truth in that.
All right, when did that start for you?
I think it started when I was a little girl, when my cousin used to come over, and she was beautiful, and my dad kind of showed favoritism toward her. And then like I thought he loved her more than me. And I broke down one day in a closet, and my mom found me, and I told her, and then she told him, and I begged her not to. And then he kind of was upset that I thought that, you know? So I just learned to sort of hide that.
Okay. So you have daddy issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he left, you know, and then he left when I was 11, and then he died when I was 15. So.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy, I'm sorry. Okay. Wow. What's occurring for you as you tap into all that?
It's a wound, I guess. It's painful. It's embarrassing that, you know, that feeling is embarrassing. Like, it feels silly, like I should never have felt that way, because like, of course my dad loved me. He was like perfect in my eyes, but I'm just guessing that's where it comes from. Yeah. I'm guessing that feeling of not being enough.
Yeah, all right. Look, so there's a lot there. But I don't know the answer, but just notice you're blaming yourself for having that feeling as though it was the wrong feeling, and there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right? And then fast forward, your life and things happen, your dad dies, and you've got potentially this wound and this not feeling enough that is deeply rooted in your childhood. And that's showing up now in your present relationship at 43 years old with your partner as he's watching porn. And is it possible that part of your fear is, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to stand up to my partner because I actually am not enough. But what if that's the conversation that actually needs to be had? And by conversation, I don't mean you going and talking to him. Conversation is though you posturing yourself in such a way that says, I actually believe that I am enough. I know that I am enough, and I'm going to live in such a way that has integrity with that belief.
I love that. Yeah, I can do that, and I have felt that way before, where I really did feel like enough. It's just there's like once sometimes it'll get to me, and the porn triggers it. It'll trigger that insecurity in me.
Yeah. So that right there, that is great naming of what's going on. The porn is triggering an insecurity in me.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So now is it all true? Like your partner's porn use is a betrayal and hurts you and all that? Yes, absolutely. And it's triggering this core wound in you that may need some attention.
Right.
Have you done any work around that, like in therapy or anything, just around that wounding?
No, not so much. Like the last time I went to rehab, I went and we covered a little bit on it, but they covered more my addiction than that. So I'm gonna bring that up the next time.
How many times you been to rehab? Are you a frequent visitor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever? Well, great job for putting the work in.
Thank you.
Have you, in part of your rehab or recovery work, have you like dove into the core issues, the core pain, the core wounding that you have?
Not like this. No.
Okay. Well, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. This opened up a whole new world of that I'm gonna bring up to my next group, because I have groups that I am a part of, so I'm gonna bring this up the next time I go.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you so much.
And here's my invitation for you and anybody else listening: is what do you believe about yourself, and what are you worth, and when will you start living with more integrity about what you are truly worth?
Yeah.
And what could change for you if you do that?
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing.
All right. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Miss Cupid, now I got to bring you on because you give me a bunch of gifts, and I'm just trying to get off of here, but hey there, what's going on?
Hello. Okay, so I don't really have anything to say besides I just thought it was a very interesting conversation.
It's a great way to start a conversation with somebody.
It
I don't
is.
have anything to say here.
It just randomly popped up on my For You page, and I said, you know what? I'm kind of interested in this. Let's see what happens.
All right, what's going on?
So situations, I don't know. I'm just curious because obviously you're a former user, recovery coach, because the conversation is porn cheating. To an extent, yes and no. And I say it like that because if both parties are consenting to being okay with it, then I don't think that should be a problem. Whereas if, let's say, AKA your partner's doing it behind your back and, there's stuff that's going on, then I guess at that point, I guess it could be considered. But it really all depends again, on the individual and what you're willing to put up with.
Almost. I almost agree. It's not what you're willing to put up with. It's what you agree that you're going to define your relationship with. Right? So I agree with you. Like, it depends on the couple if you decide it's cheating or not. Right? Technically. Because if we don't decide that this relationship is only between the two of us sexually, then why would pornography be a problem? Right? If we're in agreement that we can use other people for sexual gratification outside of the relationship, whether that's somebody on pornography in a screen or in person, then pornography wouldn't be a problem, right? But if that's the case, you may not be as monogamous as you think you are.
Well, no, I don't have any issues with anything. I mean, I just say I foster my men, and I know that sounds crazy.
I'm speaking hypothetically, not just about you. What do you mean you foster your men? What does that mean?
Yeah, so very interesting conversation. I say I foster my men because I don't do like romance and those type of things. This is going to sound completely out there, but essentially I have, sugar daddies. Yes, I have daddy issues. We're not going to talk about it, whatever. But yada, yada. And I say I foster my men because the reality of long-term, they're not mine. Does that make sense? That doesn't even make sense, but I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Do you think you make sense right now?
Honestly, no. My brain never makes sense, though.
This is great. You came on and
like,
you first started by saying I have nothing to say, and then now you said a whole bunch of words, and you're like, I don't even make sense.
My brain just is mumble jumble mess.
Yeah, I got it. Read the book Scattered Minds by Dr. Gabor Mate. It'll really help with the ADHD. Okay, so what do you mean, like, they're not yours forever?
So essentially, meaning older men use younger women as younger women use older men, right? I mean, that's...
Hold on.
Maybe that's not the correct terms to use.
Well, you're using that as it's a definitive blanket true statement about all older men and all younger women.
Well, okay, right. You're right. I just categorized everyone, and that's not necessarily the truth.
Okay. So what would be more true?
Meaning, like, those types of situations, you have the agreement of what is expected.
All right. Will you put it, just for the sake of conversation, will you use I statements as you're talking about this?
Like for myself?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you allow older men to what?
Oh, we have sexual relations.
For money?
Well, no, because that would be a different word that we cannot use, which is why that relationship, sugar daddy, sugar babies come in play. You see what I mean? It does. It is the same concept. 100% I agree. I am not going to sugarcoat it.
By the way, that's not what I was implying. But so for you said you have sugar daddies, plural?
Yes.
Okay, so you have at least 2 older men who give you gifts or money in exchange for what?
Basically whatever they want.
Sexually?
Yes.
Okay.
I know it sounds completely bizarre.
It doesn't sound bizarre. I'm just like, can we use the P word? Like, would you call it prostitution or?
No, I mean, it looks like that, but no, because it's.
Got it. It looks like it smells like it, but it's not it.
No, because, okay, so let me like elaborate a little bit on the situations.
Okay. Elaborate.
So, like, yes, I understand where that point of view comes in, that it looks like that P word, but it's not necessarily when you're doing other things also to help those individuals, because I have known these individuals for years, since I was 19. I'm now 30.
How old are
they? Like 70.
Okay.
But I have known them for a while. So it's not like I'm just using them. Like one of the gentlemen that I essentially, collaborate with, it is kind of like having a relationship, but it's not like a relationship because it is not expected to be there 24/7, if that kind of makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Like I go to this individual's house and I clean his house and stuff for him, and then he pays me, but then we do other things on top of that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. How many people do you collaborate with?
I have 3.
Okay, 3 collaborators. That's
I know,
a very
it
interesting word
sounds
choice. That
wild,
you're using.
but
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
It looks so bad.
Okay. Why do you say it looks so bad?
Because from a lot of people's point of view, that is considered,
Prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution. So situations, it looks really bad to a lot of people.
Okay. So why do you do it?
Because honestly, it's helping me. It helps me. I'm in college. To become a doctor. I'm going to be a psychiatrist. I don't know. It helps me. It's helping. It's helping pay bills. And it's not like it's just random people I'm doing it on the street with. I know these individuals and I've known them for such a long time. So I guess.
You met at least some of them when you were 19. How did you come to know them?
So one of them was a college advisor. And then the other ones, we just kind of we met online, like on apps.
Okay.
And then we just kind of hit it off from there.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like you have a lot of judgment towards yourself about this.
Yes and no. Not really. I'm happy with myself. I understand what I'm doing. A lot of people look at that, but I don't let other people judge me.
Okay. All right. So
It's a very hard conversation. I know.
I'm fine with it. Is it hard for you?
No, I'm very open and honest about it.
Okay. I'm curious, with the word prostitution, I'm not making the assertion that this is prostitution, just to be clear. Okay. Could be, couldn't be. I don't know. We've circled around that word, why does that kind of make it a little different for you?
Why do I believe that it is not prostitution?
I don't know. Why do you believe it's not? Or if you were to label it as prostitution, what would that mean for you? It's just you could optically say it is, right? You could make the argument that it is, right?
Right.
And it's not
anybody technically, I guess, could, but it's also different. They don't consider it that way due to both parties are in agreement with what is happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're so in there's states where prostitution is not legal. Okay. So how do you explain that? So let's say you go to a state where you see a girl on the side of the road, right? And they're getting picked up by random strangers. That would be considered prostitution.
Yeah.
Whereas if it is somebody that that you've been in this agreement with for years, and it is considered a job, yes. But at the same time, the aspect and the relationship aspect is different than a prostitute. A prostitute does not get close to somebody. That doesn't necessarily, hold on, because somebody is saying what you're doing is sleeping with 3 different people. That doesn't actually mean that I'm sleeping with them. Because not everything is necessarily just sex.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, back to wherever we started this conversation. What is this about for you? Like, why did you want to come up here and talk?
I don't know. I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, like if the money wasn't involved or whatever they're giving you, gifts or funding your lifestyle, whatever that is, if the money wasn't there, would you still be in relationship with these men?
Absolutely. Because again, I've met them when I was 19, and situations like I've grown to know them on a personal level. You know, like if somebody didn't
Do they know about each other?
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm very honest. I'm very open and honest about everything with everybody that I talk to. That's
So
why
they
I
were
say I don't do
70 at the
relationships.
time, or they're 70 now?
No, they're like 70 now. So at the time they were probably like what, 50, 60 something,
So
something like that.
you were a teenager, and 60-year-old men were paying
Was
you, and
I guess 19 could be considered a teenager. I was in college. So
could be
that's kind of
considered a
how-
teenager. It has the word teen in it. It is a teenager. It could be
Yeah, I
considered
guess.
it because it is. Now that one's not gray at all.
Right. No, I mean, I guess you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
We can debate about the prostitute thing, but 19, that's a teenager. All right. Well, interesting. So now you're 30. You're still in school. Is the one still on the faculty at the school?
No. So obviously he's retired since then.
Why is that obvious?
Well, I mean, he's like 70 something. I guess that doesn't matter because, like, now people are working because of our economy and stuff. But
Yeah. Do you is this kind of what you're wanting romantically in your life? 3 relationships with 70-year-old men, or do you have any desire to maybe have somebody younger and start a family or anything? Where you at with that?
so my situation is I can't start with anybody right now, if that makes sense.
Why?
So I have a lot of trauma. I'm not gonna like totally trauma dump. But I'm raising my 15-year-old sister. And so yes, I have to do what I have to do. I worked pharmacy, and then the college stuff on top of everything else. And then,
Okay.
there's a lot to it that
I got it. I don't understand why all that means you can't have a relationship with somebody your age. You're somehow able to manage 3 relationships with 3 70-year-olds. Why could you not manage one with one 30-year-old?
because unfortunately my sister herself has a lot of trauma and she's on the spectrum. So when I first got her, these individuals were around. Does that make sense? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. None of it is going to make sense unless you hear like the whole story, and it's just a whole mess. Basically, I have to wait until she's old enough before I can go back to doing me. Does that make sense?
Like financially, or
No, like love life type of deal.
got it. Okay, so you're just you've chosen that you're gonna kind of finish raising your sister before you even consider doing something differently romantically.
Right. And it's
Okay.
due to I just have so much going on that I cannot I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just curious. I don't see the connection between your sister and the older men preventing you from dating younger people, which you don't need to do that. I don't know. I don't care.
I mean, I don't have any issues against anyone around my age. That's not it at all. It's just I've been doing this for so long that, again, they're older. It financially right now it's helping me.
Yeah. So is it financial? Like you need the financial support to continue
Yes.
raising your sister?
Right.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. and gals. W's in the chat. Thanks for being here. A little midday live. 3 hours. Jeez. Time flies when you're talking about porn on the internet. My name, again, is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. I do one-on-one as well as group coaching, both for men who are wanting to break free from porn or sex addiction and women who are going through partner betrayal trauma, the trauma that a partner experiences when they have discovered a betrayal in their relationship. If you're interested in my coaching, you can go to the link in my bio. I have groups both for men and women on Tuesday night as well as Wednesday afternoon. If you're looking to heal together in community, because healing doesn't occur until it's witnessed empathetically. We've got a great group of men and women separately who meet together on a weekly basis and go through this together. And it's not live publicly on TikTok. So if you're interested in that, you can go to the link in my bio, get the information there on what is entailed, what it costs, and if not, subscribe. Maybe you'll come next time and we'll have some more great conversations. As always, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. It's not mine. It's your choice whether you're going to have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.